You are now listening to CTR Media Network.
What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are, the media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, at your car, come get the information that's needed above all and everlasting. Motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself, your health, and see if we
The podcast on CTR Media Network.
That's me. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks to her, my podcast is doing great.
350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like-minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence, all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far, you know. CTR Media Network. CTR Media Network.
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today.
Discover new workout classes in your community through the Let's Workout app. With the app, you can easily find classes in your area and sign up for them. The app sends alerts about new classes within a 10-mile radius of your location, so you never miss out on an opportunity to get fit. Let's Workout is also a great platform for trying out new types of classes or finding a new favorite instructor. You can filter classes by type to find the perfect fit for you. Plus, the app handles all the payment details, so you can focus on getting the most out of your instructor in class. Download Let's Workout today and take the first step towards a more active and healthier lifestyle.
Our CTR Media Network sponsors. A special shout out to our platinum sponsors, Eleanor and Leroy Mason from HappyandHealthy.Global. HappyandHealthy.Global is a health and nutrition business that educates and provides essential natural wellness products to build your health and wealth. To find out more of what they have to offer to you, go to HappyandHealthy.Global. Thank you to our CTR Media Network sponsors. To learn more about our sponsors and CTR Media Network, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
But before we get into the details of that, let me go ahead and pull up today's guest. All right. So with that, I'm so excited to be able to introduce her. She's, again, one of my good personal and CEO of Covenant Christian Bookstore. She is a Navy veteran. She was born here and raised, she was raised and born out of Buffalo, New York, but she's been here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast for the past 26 and a half years. Again, as I mentioned earlier, she's the founder and CEO of Covenant Christian Bookstore, of which it will be celebrating its 10th year of being open and flourishing here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast on the weekend of July the 4th. And so, again, we'll talk a little bit about her bookstore as we enter into the conversation. But for now, please welcome to the stage, again, my good friend, Monica Benjamin.
Blessings. Hi, beautiful. How are you today?
I am well. How are you doing?
I am doing absolutely amazing. Absolutely. This morning I woke up with a fresh new video from my scrumptious twin grandson. So it just made my day to see those little guys. But to wake up and just say, Lord, I thank you. It's just been amazing. So my day has really been awesome. Thank you.
Okay, very good. So just a little bit prior to us getting started, her husband popped in for a quick minute just to say hello to his beautiful sweetheart. And like she mentioned, she has these like scrumptious little grandkids. I'm telling you all, if y'all had an opportunity to see them, you just want to like eat them up. And so every now and then I'm always with Monica because she'll send me a couple of photographs inside of Facebook Messenger. So just so I can take a peek and be able to kind of peek in on them. I'm telling y'all, they're so cute. They really deserve to be on the front of two cereal boxes, Monica. They are just absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
So with that, all right, I want our audience to know a little bit about Monica Benjamin. Like when you're not in the bookstore, tell people, what does your life look like? We know you have a bookstore, we know you're married, you got a couple of really cute kids, but what is the woman Monica Benjamin? What does she look like? What makes you smile? What makes your heart beat?
Well, you know what, Tiffany, that is an amazing thing to try to think about yourself, because when I think about Monica, I think about Forrest Gump, because he had like an amazing life. Every time he talked to somebody, it was just amazing. And then I said, well, I'm telling people all these amazing things, but do they believe it? But my normal day consists of waking up, absolutely getting into prayer, worship. And that just sets the day for everything. So I just recently resigned from my 9 to 5, and I'm excited about that. And I'm telling you, the Lord has been faithful in that whole process, because so many things transpired for the good. So when I did let go of the job, it just been like, okay, now what? So I got to spend all day at the store now.
I mean, you got it rough spending all day outside,
Right.
Please?
But I always look for an opportunity to be a blessing to someone, because the world is in such chaos right now and people are really hurting. But I try to always encourage them to let them know that you might be going through this, but if you trust and call on the name of the Most High, He would definitely give you the peace, the strength, the strategy to get through what you're going through. So I always try to be a help to our community. As you know, when you were with the Women's Resource Center, I was there, but I wasn't able to be there because of work. But now I'm free. But I'm also on the board of the South Mississippi AIDS Task Force. So I do a lot of work with that as well. And then also I'm a part of the Gulf Coast Blessings. So we do a lot of prison ministry and work like that. So even though I'm not on the 9 to 5, I'm on the kingdom schedule of a 9 to 5. So I'm excited about that. And I'm a giver. I had a young lady come in today and she was just picking up gifts for people. And I said, you know what? I'm a giver too, because it's always good to give. But when you give out of love, the results are amazing. But if you give out of wanting something in return, you could get your heart broke that way, because people don't always have the opportunity to give. And what I find most valuable to be able to give is love. Because He said, for God so loved the world, He gave His only begotten Son. So if I set my heart every day to give love, I always have an amazing day.
So that I will say, Monica is definitely known for giving. I know that you've really been a blessing to my life. And she's really good about just, sporadically giving, and you can tell it's not planned at all. Just whenever, something's been placed on her heart, I just never know. She'll pop up in my inbox or pop up in my cell phone. Hey, Tiff, are you busy? And so, again, I'm very grateful for our friendship over the years and the way that you've really, truly been a blessing to me and to many, many people, again, with the things that you're involved with here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, as well as just being the aid and resource that you are to all the various churches and other organizations that are connected to your bookstore. So what I would love for you to be able to talk a little bit, Monica, is about the bookstore, but you mentioned strategy that, you wake up each day, you're getting the strategy for the day. I would love for you to share just about, like, how did Covenant Christian Bookstore come to be, and the strategy that you feel as if the Lord gave you to not only to create it, but then to keep it and to maintain it. Because again, I know the one thing I know about Covenant Bookstore is that it is debt-free and has always been debt-free. And I think that that's just a wonderful testimony. So, and it's a brick and mortar, people. So we're not talking about like a debt-free virtual based platform. We're talking about a brick and mortar, a bookstore that you need to walk in. You can actually pick up the books, flip through them, look at all the gifts and things that she has. And so again, to be able to do that consistently for a decade now and not have any real debt to that is miraculous. So I'm sure there are a lot of people out there would love to know about the strategy that Lord gave you and making that being able to do just that.
Well, see, Tiffany, July is just it's going to be an amazing month that I'm believing the Lord will allow me to wake up to see. Not only will it come to be 10 years old, but my first book will be coming out at the same time. And it's called When Faith Embraced the Promise. So how Covenant has been so successful and how Monica has been able to hear and obey what thus said the Lord is because I'm in a relationship with him. And being that my relationship with him is unrestricted, it's not like, okay, if you do this, Lord, I'm gonna do this. No, whatever.
Aluva Life Greens actually started for me when I was 23 years old. I went out and bought a $400 industrial juicer, and I started juicing every single week. And I hated it. It took so much time, it cost money, and it was a process. That's when I started making the Life Greens product. It truly is the one drink that you should take every day for the rest of your life.
My name is Amy,
And when you
and I
think about
absolutely
being a mother
love
or
fitness.
parent,
I'm a licensed.
our children, my husband brought this out years ago when we were raising our children, and I would hear him having conversations with our son, and he would say, son, in your tool belt of life, I want to give you this. Now, you might not need it right now, but it's in your tool belt. And at the appropriate time, you're going to know which tool to pull out of your belt to get done what you need to do at that time. So as parents, well, that's what we do. We hear from the Lord, we trust him, we know him. So guess what? He only has our best interest at heart when it comes to our health, our success, our families, our wealth, our interaction with certain people and certain things. So, once you know who you are in him, it's easy. Well, I shouldn't use the word easy because it may seem easy. And sometimes you got to bite your tongue.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So and then you just have to roll through it, So, but if you trust him enough, you won't. The bumps in the road won't be as high. They're still there. They won't be as high and as boom, 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 boom. Like, So,
yeah, you won't hit them as hard. You'll be able to kind of go over them with a little more grace and a little more ease. All right. So tell me, so when it comes to getting the strategy, right, so that you can do the thing that God has given you, has called you to, what advice would you give someone who's saying that they're like, hey, Monica, I totally get that, he's the one who owns it all. 2, I get to be a part of the plan. But 3, he's definitely one that's in control. But, what if they're having a difficult time actually hearing? Like, I remember going through this myself, and it wasn't that I wasn't hearing, it was more of me being able to understand the difference between his voice and my voice. Understanding the source of what I was hearing, and then even being able to develop a certain trust that what I was hearing, mind you, and that it was the right direction to go. So if you were going to kind of talk to someone about that vein, about that leg, what would you say to her?
Well, what I would say is, for me to know Kevin, I have to spend time with him. I can hear a million people call my name at one time, but I'm definitely going to hone into where Kevin's voice is coming from, because I know that voice. And I might have to go through the muck and the miry and the stink and the filth and everything to get to Kevin, but I know that there is safety when I get to Kevin. So that's what happens when you are in a relationship and you know his voice and you got that, your heart is connected to him. It doesn't matter what you have to go through to get to him or to achieve what he has for you to achieve. Once you trust him, you just trust him. I mean, that's how it's done.
I love it. All right, I love it. Okay, so you are, CEO of a bookstore, right? Plus, you're coming out with your first book. Is this your first book? Okay. All right. So I'm sure some of our audience members would love to kind of hear just your story and like, hey, why a bookstore? Of all the different resources out there that you could have, why a bookstore? And then if it's been 10 years, why now for your first book versus earlier? And then, just tell them a little bit about what the book itself is going to be about.
Well, the book is all about Covenant Christian Bookstore.
Okay.
So if I tell you too much, you ain't gonna have to buy the book. You have to purchase the book or to hear all the yummy stuff and the hard stuff and the
broad synopsis for
me.
Heartbreaking
stuff. So the wide synopsis is Covenant Christian Book. When Faith Embraced the Promise is the name of the book, and it just details the 10 years of the life and the existence of Covenant Christian Bookstore. The pros, the cons, the ups, the downs, the successes, the things that I may have failed at, and the things to come to continue on this journey of having this amazing work, all based on faith. One thing I can tell you is that when I was driving on the highway and the Lord just started talking, he said, daughter, and I said, yes, Lord. And he said, I created Covenant Christian Bookstore in heaven, and I look for a faithful servant to watch over earth, and I choose you. Now, mind you, I'm driving. So now I got to pull over because I'm just going through all these tears and just being so, I don't know how to explain how I felt, because when the Lord tell you that he trusts you,
that's a big deal.
I'm surprised I didn't have a heart attack at that time, because I know his voice, and it was like, wow. But I was overwhelmed, and then I was comforted, and then I just had all kind of emotions going on at that time. And so when I pulled over and I collected myself, and I said, well, Father, I got one request. And he said, what is that, daughter? And I said that we do it debt free. And that's how it all happened. And I only had $1,536 in the bank. So when I got home to tell Kevin about, I'm going to open up a Christian bookstore debt free, he really just was like, okay.
And so it's
10
been 10
years
years.
later.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, I love that. Love that. So what advice would you give someone who is considering opening up a bookstore? What would you, what advice would you give her?
Open up a bookstore or open up a business?
Well, how about the combination of the two?
Okay, being chosen to open up a bookstore, I can see the Lord doing that for me because I'm a reader. And I'm a journalist. I write down everything. I don't ever want you to see my bedroom. Praise the Lord. Because my poor husband, like, when you find a piece of paper that I don't wrote on, do not throw that piece of paper away. Just put it on my dresser. Okay. Because I don't know. But I was hearing it at the time. So, but I was a reader and I read a lot and I studied a lot. And I have a bad habit of reading like 3 or 4 books at a time. And it's weird, but it works for me. So whatever that thing is that you enjoy doing, that whether it's sewing or cooking or interior designing or whatever that thing is that you love doing, that's what you have to ask the Lord to help navigate to make it into something beautiful and successful. So if I fill the bookstore up with all that, is if people gonna come. The books I like to read are spiritual warfare books, and guess what? I can't keep them on the shelf. I get them in, the people come for them. So you literally just have to. I'm gonna give you a perfect example of what happened. I was at this group meeting, and they was helping new business owners, new businesses with advice on how to open up a business. So when I said I was going to open up a bookstore, the man over the program, because you had to introduce yourself and tell them what you were there to do or what your business was, the man over the program literally told me, oh, that ain't going to work. So I'm sitting there like, wow, what if I didn't know the Lord, didn't know his voice, and I allowed this young man to say that, we wouldn't have had no Covenant Christian Bookstore. But I thought, and I said, well, when I get into a position to be able to tell somebody and to encourage somebody and hear what their dreams are, Lord, never let me speak like he spoke to me. Because he could have killed my dream if I didn't have faith. He could have killed my dream if I didn't know who I was in the Lord. He could have killed it. But for my sisters and my brothers out there with the dream you have, be careful. Don't let nobody kill your dreams, especially if the Lord gave it to you. Walk out in faith on it. Because what you got to do, it won't be for everybody.
I think that's a really great segment into our last portion of today's session, which is your affirmation, right? And so like it's a great tie-in, right? Okay, so then we have a new affirmation book that's coming out, and Monica is one of our contributors for that book, and it's called Affirmations of a CEO on the Move. And so again, if you are an individual out there that's considering opening a business, perhaps you have a business already, right? But we all know that wherever you land at in life, your mind honestly got there first, right? So, the Lord imparted an idea in Monica's heart, inside of her mind, as far as the Covenant Christian Bookstore. She went there, that was her first first introduction. Really was just, it was in her mind, and then even from there, having to put together the plan so that she can land where she's at now, 10 years later, with a thriving brick and mortar Covenant Christian Bookstore that's making an impact on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, right? And so with that, Monica, I want you to talk a little bit, about your affirmation, and I want you to address any woman out there that's considering opening up some type of business, or maybe even a woman that already has a small business, but again, she's been challenged with her ability to be able to do it and to do it well. How would you advise her? What is it that she needs to say to herself so that she can continue with the plan that the Lord has given her in regard to her business? So I'll give you the floor, Miss Monica. Your affirmation should pop up here on the screen here any second now.
Hello, my beautiful sister. I just want you to know that I am armed for success. And the success that I'm for is through my faith. I want you to know whatever career field that you are in, whatever career field you started.
Isn't it? This is what I get to do for a living. Isn't it unbelievable?
Well, you have any closing remarks before we head out?
Y'all, please support the movement of CTR Media Network. I'm telling you, being a part of this amazing media family, I can't go wrong, right? We have the support. They support us in all that we do. We have questions. They take the time out to advise and mentor. So definitely check out the different plethora of shows that are on the network. I promise you, and I'm not saying this because I'm part of the family, but I promise you, you will be uplifted, inspired, educated, motivated, all the good stuff that we all need to carry ourselves out through the day. So definitely go check it out, y'all.
Awesome. I definitely appreciate
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times, your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show. Everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Happy New Year to everybody. How are you over there, Michael and Carrie?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having us.
Well, you know what? People have no idea what they're in store for today. So listen, grab your virtual seats, everyone. Go ahead and share this broadcast with your friends, your family, your coworkers, people you know, people you don't even know. But the point is, let people experience today's episode. When I say excited about the opportunity to talk with Michael and Carrie today, they have such a creative approach to what I feel is spreading the good news. And I am excited about hearing their journey, their story, and what they're doing to salt this earth. That's the best way I can think to word it without giving out too much. What do y'all think?
I like it. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, we're going to go back and capture that. That's going to be our. So all of you definitely in ministry, if you're knowing people that are looking to just help the communities that we serve, especially from a ministry perspective, definitely chime in and let us know where you're calling in from or where you're visiting in from today in the virtual studio audience, and we'll try to get your questions answered in particular as well. Let me just go ahead and jump right in, because today we have two guests that's going to be on. We have first half of the Kim Jacobs Show, and then the second half we have Natasha Halliday, who's going to be talking about the psychology of change. So make sure you stay put throughout the entire episode. So I want to go ahead and talk to you about this couple here. Carrie and Michael are volunteer resource partners who travel full-time in their RV to help churches implement curriculum from lessons.church. So you're going to learn a lot more about them and how they have over 25 years in ministry experience, spanning both youth and children's ministry in Mississippi, Tennessee, Texas, and Oklahoma. They are passionate about both children's ministry and technology, and together they're able to help churches become equipped to have thriving children's ministries on any budget or no budget at all. That's huge. Welcome, Michael and Carrie Bird, to the Kim Jacobs Show.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah. no budget at all. That's what we love. And that's what makes our job so easy, is that we're able to go into churches and be able to share the resources that we have. And there's no wall or no, hey, you can't do it. Anybody can do it. And it really is almost 100% free, other than the devices that you buy to put on the TV to be able to use it. And so we'll definitely get into that. But we started out just in children's ministry, actually youth ministry, as any good children's minister does.
Well, before you get to the children's ministry and the youth ministry, how did the two of you meet? Because you both have to clearly be like-minded to be going full-time traveling in an RV. So that's not just like any old body.
In short, it could be a very long story, but in short, my dad introduced us. He's a minister, and he was preaching a revival at the church Michael was the youth minister at, and basically just thought that we would hit it off, and we did. And I don't think he really thought we'd get married. I think he just thought, I'll just introduce them, they'll be friends, it'll be fine. And yeah, like 9 months later, we were married. So
yeah. He was playing match.
An arranged marriage, or but that's just, we're just joking with people to see their reaction.
But in a good way, a wonderful arrangement. How long have you been married now?
It'll be 22 years this year.
And the whole you just got on the road and started traveling in an RV.
Well, no, that was this year.
That was this year.
Okay, I was like, what?
We're still new to that part. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a whole journey getting up to there for sure. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, good. Okay. So you are in this RV. You made a conscious decision that in your marriage that's been well over however many years or so here, you've decided that you're going to take this thing on the road together as husband and wife.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Well, when we come back after this commercial break, everybody, we're going to deep dive right into their philosophy of traveling the road and helping churches around the globe. So let's take our first commercial break, and we'll be right back to hear from Michael and Carrie. We'll be right back.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter and Everett, we help clients that lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
Everyone, we're back and we're talking with Michael and Carrie. So now your philosophy is that everyone should be able to have access to quality church curriculum, not just those that can afford it. So talk to us and tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, so that really came out of just working in smaller churches, which is where we began. So we were in children's ministry and youth ministry at churches of 100 or less. And when it comes to a budget of a church for 100 or less, it's not a thing. If you're in a church like that, then you know. And so usually your budget is your salary. And so if you have a salary, if you're just a volunteer, then your budget is even lower than that. And so we worked hard to make our own curriculum, but it took some time. As our career kind of grew, we moved into larger churches. And when we got into larger churches, we realized, wow, there's some incredible curriculum out there that just makes teaching kids really, really a lot easier. And saves a lot of time. So if you're a teacher and you're creating your own curriculum every week, week in and week out, that takes time. And with kids today, there's a lot that they can get distracted to.
Adults, not children.
Adults too. That's very true.
Not children, but adults can do that.
It's very true. And so as we kind of got into bigger churches, I kind of had this desire to keep helping smaller churches that I knew of. And I had a lot of friends that are in ministry too. And they'd say, hey, what curriculum are you using? Can we use it? And I unfortunately would say, well, the curriculum we're using is great. And it really helps kids come to know Jesus a lot better, but it's going to cost you $2,500 a year. And I might as well say, that's going to cost you $1 million a year, because the money was not there. And so we both had this desire to be able to do it. And then it was probably about 3 years ago that we really started pushing on Lessons.Church. I'll let Carrie tell you a little bit more about how that started.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, it did start with the money, but then we also thought, why can't everybody have just access to this quality curriculum? And we kind of discussed making our own curriculum to give away, but we knew it was going to take a lot of money from somewhere for us to create that, because these curriculum companies put in a lot of money into what they're doing. And we ended up just reaching out to some people and saying, hey, you've been putting out curriculum for 20 years. Can we have your old stuff to give out to churches? You know, can we just recycle the old stuff?
Before you continue, I want everybody really, just literally to take a second and go ahead and tag any ministry leader or anybody that you know is involved in church in any This is some good stuff. I'm tagging folk. Y'all should be tagging folk like crazy. Okay, carry on, Carrie, with your thought.
So Michael, once he gets something in his mind, he is driven. He is one of those people that is just not going to let it go until he has exhausted all the avenues. And so he reached out to a church after a couple people recommended, to a church just north of Houston in Conroe, Texas. And tried to give it away for free before, and they didn't have a good avenue to do that. They said, we tried and we didn't know how to get the videos to people. We didn't know, the technology kind of side of it.
Because there's still a lot of cost. I mean, curriculum's great and video curriculum's great, but then getting it to the TV and having it show there automatically to where a teacher doesn't have to spend all the time learning all the technology.
Right.
That's tough too. And it was just too big of a hurdle for them. In fact, they had actually started a curriculum company, and this church, it's the Ark Church in Conroe, Texas. They are a church of about, I think, 7,000 to 8,000 people, just a really big church, fascinating people. And their whole idea, they spent 10 years making a curriculum. When we say free, we mean donor donated.
Right.
Because they spent well over $1 million just making just an incredible curriculum. And then they actually tried to start a curriculum company, but it just didn't work out because their desire, their heart was to give it to churches, but as a company, they needed to sell it. And so it was like, we can't do this. And so they had given up on that idea. And a guy connected us, and they said, we're just about to give up on the whole thing and just use it for our church, even though we wanted to use it for other churches. And then you called, and that was God. It had nothing to do with us. It was just God putting us together.
That's good. I'm really glad God connected us and allowed our paths to cross, because this is necessary for everyone. So the curriculum that you're talking about is costing quite a bit for those that are purchasing it. And so how do you end up giving it free to community churches? And how do you get those resources to them officially?
Yeah.
Well, the Ark never charges for anything. They are completely free. And we just happen to know some really great coders who could create a database type system for it to be delivered to everyone. And so just with a simple Fire Stick plugged into the TV, and you download our free Lessons.Church app, and then from a computer, you say, I want this lesson to show on this Sunday.
Okay.
And you can schedule 6 months in advance, and it will automatically switch from one lesson to the next.
Yeah.
And yeah. It's super easy, and it's built for those churches that don't have somebody dedicated 40 hours a week, especially. It's built for them to use.
Okay.
So at last church that we were at, we had 3 campuses that we had to get curriculum to. And this kind of drove me to figure out how to get it effectively and efficiently to every campus. And that's where the idea of the program came in. And really the program alone is just an incredible amount of coding and different individuals. And there is a trust that is set up that has helped us be able to keep funding this. And so the programming alone, there's nothing out there like it. It is truly incredible. And it's almost too good to be true. When teachers like, what do you mean it's going to automatically be there? But once you start using it, and we have about 6 churches that are using it every Sunday now. And on Sunday morning, you come into your classroom and you click a button and it says start lesson, and the new lesson is there for you. The next Sunday morning,
free.
100% free. Yeah.
Okay. Wrap your hands around the fact that usually when we hear it's free, it's always some catch at the end. That's typically what whatever society, stereotypical, whatever. The point is, we know that that's typically the case. They say it's free, but it's a catch, a caveat, a carrot, something at the end. In this case, you're saying it is 100% free.
Yes.
It is 100% free.
And it's free because there are other churches that are giving the curriculum, other organizations that are giving the curriculum. So that makes it open source and free. But then there are coders around the world that have joined in with us and are helping to code this to make sure everything works correctly. And it all is off of in Acts 2:44. If you read that scripture, it talks about the church sharing everything alike. And that's what we want to do.
All believers working together. It doesn't matter what your thoughts are about each other's denominations, but we're all working together. Mom, first of all, hey, mommy, thank you so much. And my mom said, good morning, everyone. Very good to see you all this morning. And thank you, Mom, for being with me in the emergency room throughout the night. And I just want to thank God for a wonderful mom, because I do not take it for granted. I see you saying good morning, Facebook user. Hey, okay. And Cassandra, you also stayed up throughout the night, texting and calling and checking on me. And I appreciate you. Lady Cassandra Davis is a pastor's wife in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. And actually her husband, Pastor Selwyn Davis, is the one that you all see this new template that's happening here. He stayed up throughout the night to create that for me. So thank you. And they are with Servant Church. So if you're in the Charlotte, North Carolina area, make sure you all visit Servant Church, and they truly do have servant's heart. All right. Let's see other comments. All right. So let's see. Now you're saying that this is completely free. I do want you to walk us through the steps of how to obtain access to lessons.church.
Absolutely. So because it is open source, if you go to lessons.church, it is a website, just like .com, it's a .church. So lessons.church, and you go to that website, you can scroll down and see everything that's available. So since we've started, we've had more and more curriculum added. And so now we don't only have children's curriculum, but it goes all the way through adults. Ozark Christian College is a college in Joplin, Missouri, and they partnered with us, and they put over 1 terabyte of college professors teaching the word on there. And so you would pay thousands of dollars to go see these professors if you're going to a Christian college.
Yes.
But it's 100% free, because their heart is saying they want the world to know the good news, and they don't want a cost to be a barrier. And so they took the opportunity and put all their curriculum on there too. So you can watch it from right there. And really,
I'm going to go to it. I see you, Ernetta Caldwell, one of our Freestyle Friday experts on reinventing yourself. Glad to have you on. I'm going to share this. I want to share this. You can take the comment down, Mackenzie. Let me share the screen for a second. All right. Because I want to pull this up so people can see. I'm a visual person, so I'm over here looking. I'm over here looking at lessons.church, and I want to make sure everybody gets to see it. This is great information that you all should. I'm gonna pop this into the screen. Any questions you all have, type them in the comment section. Please. Anybody that's in the studio audience. Let's see. Okay, can you all see it? Yes.
There it is. So yeah, you can see us. And if you watch that, it's a great video to kind of explain what we do and why we do it. But if you keep scrolling down, you'll see there's the ARC, that's the elementary, and then the ARC junior. So the elementary and the junior work together, and they're the same main point and everything, but it's specifically for that age group. So you got early childhood and you got elementary, which is important. It really is. So the whole
and so
family.
And so Michael and Carrie, when you download the app, you go to lessons.church, you download the app, it's a free app. It's going to pull up curriculum each week. That's new curriculum for art kids elementary and art kids junior. You're going to get new curriculum every week by being a part of this downloaded app.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, basically, yes. And if you keep scrolling, there's youth ministry and adult ministry. But and that's just to preview it. That's where you're at. If you want to preview the lessons, or if you want to just watch them on your computer at home, this is where you would do it. You click on one and then click on a lesson. If you're wanting to schedule it for your church, you would create a login at the top right hand of the corner.
And if you keep scrolling down there just a little bit further, you'll see a video right here. So this video is really for anybody that is a teacher. And if you had a house church, this would work, but at an actual church, it works the same way. And we people from churches of 30 all the way to churches of 8,000 using our system. And so it works everywhere. That video will show you how to set everything up. I highly encourage you, if you're a pastor, to watch that. And then right there at the bottom is the apps. And so there's the one app.
Let me go right here.
Green,
the
blue.
green one.
Yeah, okay, so the green app here, get B1 Church app for your volunteers, get Lessons Church app, lessons.church app for TVs.
Yep. And if you click on that, it'll take you to the Amazon app, and it'll work on any Google device too. But the Fire Stick is, if you wait, you can get them for $14.99 on sale. But they're usually $24.99. And once you get those, you just download the lessons.church app, and then you put your church name in, it pulls up your church, and then that's how it ties all the exact lessons to it.
So you're picking the lessons. So you get to go into the ARC and say, we want to do the stories on love because it's February, and we want the early childhood and the elementary to do it at the same time. We're not picking what you're going through. You're picking what you're going through. And so you choose. Yes.
Yeah. And if
So
there's,
what's your rationale behind why you're doing this? What made you do this?
Well,
Who
being
are you people? You know how people say people in a derogatory way. I'm saying it in a good way. Who are you people?
well, being in children's ministry and setting these things up and working, we love working with kids, and we love sharing Jesus with kids. And doing that, it took so much time. This literally took 20 hours out of my week as a children's minister that I was able to put back into meeting with families and helping them. I always dreamed of something like this that would work, and then at no cost. And so that's what drove us. That's why we did it. So if it feels like it works really good for a church, it's because we made it work good for a church.
Right. And we believe that the larger churches, it's great that they have the money to spend on curriculum, but these small churches, they have, maybe 10 kids. Why can't those kids get the same quality as the larger church kids? There's just no reason that money should be the issue to make sure a kid learns about Jesus in the way that's most effective for them.
Yeah.
I love it. So now listen, everybody that's watching, wherever you're watching it from, if you're watching on CTR Media Network, I know that means we're in 46 countries. Make sure that you all take advantage of this wonderful opportunity that's being offered by Michael and Carrie Bird. No strings attached. You don't have to join their ministry. You don't have to become their buds or anything. You could just get the free app and bless your church. For once, can't something like this, in my opinion, African American, Caucasian, we all work together and have some viral videos that are beneficial to the world.
Yeah.
We're locking arms and we're helping one another to be able to spread the good news and the gospel of Christ. I salute you all today for being here. I'm very honored to have you.
Well,
Very
we
awesome.
are able to do it because there's lots of people that are behind and lots of people that are it's donor funded. And so there's lots of people that just give to the ministry because they see what's going on and they want to see that happen. And so thank you to all those people that are doing it. We just get the great job of being able to go hang out at churches and show people how to do this. And it really is amazing. And that's what we're doing right now. We're at Lake City Christian Church in Lake City, Florida. Because we live in an RV, we like to keep it warm most of the time.
Yep.
But if you wanted us to come to your church, it doesn't matter what church it is, and just be around to be able to help, then we will do that. And we would love to do that.
And how do they make it happen? How can people stay connected with you to be able to book you to come? If you're going to drive your RV, listen, I'm going to tell you in advance. If you're coming to Charlotte, North Carolina, I want to get on that RV. I want to interview you and say you're here. I'm Kim Jacobs for the Kim Jacobs Show, and they are in Charlotte, North Carolina. So you have to commit to that if you come to Charlotte.
Absolutely, we will.
Yep.
How do they connect with you?
Yeah, so it's really easy on lessons.church there. It looks like we've shared a lot of times. There's a little question mark in the bottom right. If you just click on that, it comes up with all of our information. And that is our direct cell phone. So if you call that number, Carrie or I will answer.
Okay.
And also a way to use Facebook to get a hold of us from there. There's also a way to send us an email from there. We're here to support you. And so anytime that you're going to set all this up in your church, like, I don't know how to, we'll set up a time, we'll set up a Zoom meeting, and Carrie and I will literally get on and walk you through it. Because once we get it set up, you're going to see it's so easy that you'll just keep using it and you'll love it.
Oh my gosh. Y'all have made this so incredibly awesome. Now, I didn't really get an understanding of why the RV. Why are you in the RV travel world? What made that be the case? Somebody tell me.
Because one of our goals was to be able to actually get to know churches in America. And if you just go in for a week and set everything up and then leave, that it doesn't seem like it's not really effective. You don't really know exactly what they need. So what we like to do is spend 2 to 3 months at a church and really help the senior minister, or a lot of smaller churches, there's only one senior minister. And so we can become like employees for them. We're just volunteers with Life Church Solutions, but we'll do anything in the church to help them out, to encourage them, and also set up lessons in the church. So yeah, that's why we do it. And we love churches. We've been in churches all of our lives, and we're
both ministers' kids. We just love
it.
We love churches. We love ministers. We want to help ministers. We've seen them struggling for years to do everything, and we want to just relieve that a little bit and help them.
What a beautiful, beautiful commitment and a legacy that you're going to leave on this earth. You're making an indelible mark that's going to make a tremendous difference in the lives of everyone, for real, not just saying it. And if I can definitely tell you that you are definitely getting exposure to Dubai, because the bishop of Dubai jurisdiction in the Church of God in Christ is on here, and he's watching and said, awesome, this is good. And this is Amir May and Lady Kenya May. And so you definitely are being exposed to them today. And a few other pastors that I'm sure are on as well. Pastor Selwyn Davis, and I talked to you about that with Servant Church. They said this is amazing. Him and Lady Cassandra Davis, that this is amazing.
Oh, that's great.
You're gonna be coming to Charlotte.
Yeah, we want to go to Charlotte.
Awesome.
That's great.
And then also, listen, they're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. As you see here on the Kim Jacobs Show, that's what this show is all about, how we can make your life better through some experiences of our guests that have overcome some tremendous odds themselves to become who they are today. And Michael and Carrie stopped by the Kim Jacobs Show today in the midst of a huge conference that they're attending to be here to bless you all today. So make sure you email Michael at livecs.org, Michael at livecs.org, and that's also in your comment section. Any closing comment?
And thank you so much for being here. We are excited. We love that more churches are seeing this, because the more churches that see it and the more churches that use it, the more it can grow. Our idea is really that this will span even the paid for curriculums that are right now. There's people that are making those, man, they have great hearts and they're doing an amazing job. But what if they could give all of that away for free? What if they were donor supported and they could put their material up on lessons.church? We would love for that to happen, so that any curriculum out there can be available for free. If it has to do with Jesus, It should be for free for people to use.
Yep.
All right, everyone, listen. This has been our first half of our guests, Michael and Carrie Bird. Enjoy your conference. Reaching out to you. Make sure you all say the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. And I love to stay connected with you all. Next, everyone, we're going to have, and you all stay put for a second, but we're going to have the psychology of change. Why do people make New Year's resolutions and not follow through and things of that nature? You're going to hear from one of our Freestyle Friday experts, actually, Natasha Halliday. She's going to be with us right after we learn. If you're interested in starting your own show from scratch and you don't know how to do it, you have a business, you're a motivational speaker, an author, an entrepreneur, well, you should be broadcasting your own business. And I want to let you know that I train people to do that. So let's learn a little bit about that. And we're going to hear from Natasha Halliday next. Thank you all. Y'all are amazing. Have a great Hello, everyone. I am Kim Jacobs, the host of the Kim Jacobs Show. And you all know who's right here with me, Dr. Les Brown. How are you, Dr. Brown?
I'm blessed and highly favored. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time you want to give yourself a competitive edge. If you got a message, you have some knowledge or experience, a story, or if you want to do something adventurous and exciting with your life that can increase your credibility, expose you to millions of people, I'm encouraging you to have your own talk show. I used to have a talk show. That one talk show catapulted me to another level. Now there are more people watching the internet, as you are aware, than television. Yes. Come on, somebody.
That's right.
Dr. Kim Jacobs, she trained people on how to have their own talk show. She will train you how to do that. And now with me working of an audience, expansive audience. We have over 4 million people in all of our platforms, and the coaching you need to grow your business, to grow your multi-level marketing organization, to draw more attention to yourself in this noisy economy. Go ahead, Kim.
So in the training that I do, Les, I actually do a 6-week training. It's 1 hour per week. And each week I meet the individuals one-on-one. We go through and we talk about all of the things that's necessary for a show to become a reality. We go from how to actually identify your focus area, what's going to be your ideal customer that's going to be tuning in. We'll talk about how to get guests, how to get sponsorship, how to go about getting your lighting, your branding, and your banners, and everything that you need to know. And guess what, Les? They own their own content at the end of the day.
And that's exciting. Now, if you're ready to create a shift in your business and in your life and increase your cash flow, I want you to go to KimJacobsConsulting.com. It's right on the screen, KimJacobsConsulting.com. You know, people say opportunity knocks on every door. Right. No, opportunity stands by silently waiting for you to recognize it. So I want you to recognize that this is a time for you. This is an incredible time to have your own talk show. It establishes a level of credibility.
Yes.
And by being exposed to people on a regular basis, it allows you to strategically begin to impact and attract your audience. She can take you in a place in yourself that you can't go by yourself. So go to KimJacobsConsulting.com. That's KimJacobsConsulting.com. Did I say KimJacobsConsulting.com? Yes, you did. Very good. Make sure you go there and sign up for the coaching, and we're looking forward to working with you. You have something special. You have greatness within you. That's my story, and that's Kim's story, and we'll stick to it. Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Okay, go to KimJacobsConsulting.com. Welcome, everybody, to our second half of our show with none other than our...
How are you?
Happy New Year to you. You look relaxed and
why not? I am.
Not like me. I told you I was in the emergency room all throughout the night. So
yes, and
thank you for your prayers, and
you're good.
I was determined not to cancel this show. So I'm really glad that you're here today. let's talk, Natasha. Now, I want to talk to you. First of all, I want to introduce you. I never get to formally introduce Natasha Halliday because usually we have our Freestyle Friday experts and we go quick, right? But today, Natasha Halliday, MA registered social worker, professional speaker, comedian. She is a therapist, speaker, comedian, and author, and has worked supporting individuals with their mental health for over 20 years. She currently supports individuals with their mental health through her private practice. You all didn't even know that about our Freestyle Friday expert. She is passionate about helping people unmask fear, overcome adversity, and rebuild resilience, bringing messages on these topics in her speaking across the world. And after trying stand-up comedy off of her bucket list, she decided that she couldn't do it only once. So now she's added comedy to her whole hats that she wears. I am so excited because she's out of the Toronto, Canada area, and I'm happy to have Natasha Halliday here with us today. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so New Year's resolutions, the psychology of change. Talk to us. Why do people make these New Year's resolutions and not stick to them?
Well, the funny thing to me about New Year's resolutions is the more I think about them, like, who even decided that this was a thing to do? And so I find that, New Year's resolutions is a thing, so we do them. But are we asking ourselves, with the changes that we want to make, why are we not already doing what we say we want to do? So I think it's really important to look at if there's a behavior that I'm engaging in that I want to make a change, as where I'm at right now, what's the reason I'm doing it that way right now? So what's a classic New Year's resolution? I'm going to exercise, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to get more sleep. Are we asking ourselves why we were doing it differently than the goal? And so it's important for me I think people uncover, we often deal with things kind of at a surface level.
Okay.
Right? So I set this resolution, but what's to say that the change of a calendar year, or as I like to think about with dieting, I'll start on Monday.
Right.
The many Mondays I've had in my own life.
Yeah. Dare not start talking about that, even though I've lost 12 pounds. My son Ivan helping me quite a bit.
Awesome.
But I have a long way to go. So
but what's to say that our ability to make a change is contingent on the day changing a year on a calendar?
That's right.
Or it being a Monday. So it's important to look at what is the reason why I'm not doing what I want to do. If not eating healthy, and we know, and I'm guilty of this too, I'm a therapist, but I'm an emotional eater. I'm still working out one. If I'm an emotional eater, how does January 1st change that?
That's good. That's just a good way of even thinking about it and wrapping our head around it. One day of the week does not change your mindset, is what I think I'm hearing you say.
Yes. And it doesn't, we sometimes set pretty high goals or pretty big goals.
Right.
But we're often setting ourselves up for failure.
That's good.
Right. And then there's that crash and feeling like, oh my gosh, I didn't do it. And then, okay, well, I'll reset and I'll restart. But if we haven't examined why we weren't able to sustain it, why we're even doing it, how do we actually make a change?
That's good. So okay, this is good. And if you have questions in the virtual studio audience, go ahead and start putting them over here for Natasha Halliday. And she's a therapist, like she said already. And she's committed to helping us with the psychology of change during the second half of this episode. So put your questions, your comments. And if you missed the first half of the episode, go back to lessons.church and check out the free curriculum that's available for churches. Please make sure you do that. Now, Natasha, when we come back from this commercial break, I want you, if you would, to give us some mind shift strategies so that we can know how to really implement change in our lives. Is that possible?
Absolutely.
All right. You look like you were born for that. You like, I'm ready, girl. I've been ready. So listen, we'll be right back after this commercial break, everybody. Wow.
I have peace of mind with Silver Shield Security, which has been protecting my family and home, along with servicing the Carolinas for over a decade. Silver Shield Security knows the importance of convenience and safety. Whether you live in an apartment, a home, or run a business, they are here to protect you from unwanted intrusions and fires. Call now at 704-440-4688 or visit the website at www.silvershield-security.com. You can use my promo code #ToneX and get 1/2 off your installation price. Don't forget to ask about the new no money down options. Let Silver Shield Security help to give you peace of mind, just like me and my family, and keep your business safe.
Commercial right there, because that's Tone X, international comedian, and you have a comedic side to you too. So maybe I need to connect the two of you, right?
Why not?
That's right. All right. So let's hear your philosophy on the psychology of change.
Well, one thing I wanted to touch on quickly, and so, having studied psychology and things like that, there is a stages of change model or theory.
Oh yeah, let's go through that.
So this to me is key to touch on, because when we're looking at making change, and this is what comes up with New Year's resolution, things like that, it's just I make a decision and I say I'm going to go. But with the stages of change, it asks you to look at, the first thing they say is pre-contemplation. So this is when somebody's even becoming aware that there's a change to be made.
Okay.
Then they move to contemplation, right? So I don't think people always necessarily think about, we got steps before even go to implementing the change.
Right.
Right. And I think part of the reason we set ourselves up for failure is we just say, I'm going to make this change go. But have we spent time in contemplation about what making that change looks like? Have we prepared ourselves? So one of the things that I love to endorse this, James Clear, Atomic Habit, fantastic book. One of the things that I still do based on that book, it talks about when you want to create a habit that you want to keep, how are you setting it up to create ease, right? So this is part of the preparation for me. So I wanted to increase my water intake. So I get up in the morning, I fill a bunch of water bottles, and I put them where I spend most of my time. There's one in my office, there's one in my bedroom, there's one in the family room, there's one in the kitchen. So I don't have to remember to go somewhere else to get water when I want to drink water. I have it. I have one here. Now, sometimes I find that 3 or 4 bottles end up in my office because that's where I spend most of my time, and I walk with them other places. But it's easier to drink water when I don't have to get up to go get it, because it's present wherever I'm at.
That's good. And let me interject right there too. Same thing. I put a big, it's a canister that that stays cold, and it's filled with ice and water. I put it right by my nightstand so that when I first get out of the bed, I can go ahead and hydrate. And that works. That does make a big difference versus having to come out, go to the fridge, get a bottle of water, and taking it in. So that's good. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when we look at the preparation, what are we doing to set ourselves up to start making this change? And then we move into action. Then we actually do the thing. And the last part of it is maintenance. So I've started, what am I doing to maintain it? Right? If we are changing our eating to lose weight to the desirable, and then don't necessarily sustain that, but what got you there is what's going to keep you there. Right? So we sometimes forget that it has to become a practice that we continue in, rather than we make a change temporarily to achieve a goal.
Yeah, I typed what you were saying: pre-contemplation, then contemplation, then moving into action, and then maintenance.
There's one in between, preparations in between the contemplation and the action.
I can't go back and edit it.
It's all good. It's all good.
Y'all just make a note of that. Mackenzie, if you could type that.
But I think I love that stage of change, because we learn in psychology, because how are you going to help your clients?
Right.
For this exact reason, so that they're not setting themselves up, because we get caught up in words like motivation, and then we beat ourselves up saying, I'm not motivated enough. But what does motivation do with what you've done to create a system so that you can make the change?
Wow.
Right? Motivation is kind of based on feelings. And to me, it's a little flighty. Like, we feel really motivated one day, we don't feel so motivated another.
Down, and it's all over the place. And then you can't be consistent to be able to really bring change about in your life, because it's all based on how you feel at that moment. And I disagree. I totally disagree with the theory of how I feel in the moment, because there are times when you feel great, and then there are times that you don't, but you still have to be consistent and still show up for yourself and in life. So it's like it can't always be based on your feelings.
Yeah.
If it was based on how I feel right now, I wouldn't be on the show today.
Precisely. but you made a choice because you're operating in consistency. There's other things that are driving you to do something beyond your motivation.
Right. I love
Right?
it. I love it. So so now you've talked about these different areas, and go back through them again. Pre-contemplation, then
Contemplation, preparation, action, and then maintenance.
I want to type that. Preparation is key too. Okay. Yeah, preparation, then action, because then you're going to act on what you've been thinking about, is what I'm hearing you say.
Mhm.
Then you're going to then go into how do you maintain this new behavior.
Mhm.
Good. You're masterful over there.
Hey, I didn't create the stages of change theory. I just wanted to bring it to the audience.
But it's how you brought it to the audience. So I hear it differently. I'm sure wherever it came from before, I hear it from you differently. That's why people are always assigned to people. You're assigned to the Kim Jacobs Show studio audience. So I'm grateful to be able to hear you and to be able to implement what you're sharing. Okay.
My goal is always to be able to deliver information that makes tangible and palpable, so that we can actually understand and walk away with something that makes sense. I don't want to speak a bunch of, jargon that is just not meeting people where they're at. What's the point?
That's so good. Very good. Okay. So what do you, right before we started talking about these areas here, we were talking about, wait a minute, somebody actually asked the question, what helps to keep you focused and keep you going when you start something? When you officially start something, how do you keep it going? Ernetta said.
So one of the things that people talk about, I hear this a lot when people are talking to entrepreneurs, is asking somebody to examine what's your why. Right. Because often your why doesn't change. So if my feelings change, but my why doesn't change, if I tap into my why, that hopefully can then help me supersede my feelings to continue to do something.
That's right.
Right? So when we're looking at what we want to do, and this is part of why, if you look at stages of change, if I've done some preparation, I've also maybe set up some systems to help make this thing happen.
That's right.
Right? If I decide, again, I'll use going to the gym. If I decide going to the gym is what I want to do, but I don't schedule it, and then I'm waiting for when I'm in the mood during the day and I have free time, well, something's going to come up.
Yeah.
Right?
Every time.
So,
something's always going to come up.
Right. So if I want to stay focused, I may be creating some systems that help me do that. So personally, what I do right now, I don't have a gym membership, so I exercise in my basement. I've got workout clothes down there. Music, and that for some reason, that one little thing about bringing the workout clothes down there made it easier. I don't know why. For me, that was a big help, but for me, that made a difference.
Well, that's because it's always important to have your tools available and resources available when you're starting on a project.
Right.
Instead of having to go gather the duct tape and gather the nails and the hammer, all the things already there, then you can go ahead and get started on the project right away.
Yeah.
You have your resources right there at your fingertips. So it makes it easier for you.
And I think when we look at staying focused, part of it is, we're asking ourselves, what's the reason I'm doing this, and what am I aiming towards? Because it's easy to get caught in this is hard in the moment.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I feel like there's a lot of, you only live once, life is, live like you're golden. And there's a lot of subtle ways we're being taught life should be easy.
And this is so far from easy.
And life isn't easy. And it's there's lots of things in the challenging moments that are part of the way we develop as human beings.
I agree.
And so if we try to avoid all hard, it also becomes hard to make change, because well, if it was too hard, forget it, I'm not going to do it. So
but like Les Brown says, if it's hard, then do it hard.
Right. But part of the staying focused is accepting, if this is what's required to get to where I want to go, and I really want this, then this is what I'm going to do.
And this is what I'm committed to doing. So great question, Ernetta. And any other questions you all have? I see you, Dr. Peggy Johnson, as well, saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being in the virtual studio audience today, and for all of the books that you have written that are priceless pieces of content for people to glean from. So keep doing what you're doing. All right. I see a lot of comments coming in. Preparation is key. Yes. And any other questions and comments, please feel free to ask them throughout the rest of our discussion. So now we've understood the phases of the psychology of change. Now, how do we actually implement those? I see you, Dr. Peggy. How do we actually implement the change in our mind for it to really happen in our actions?
So I think this is, again, why it's important to uncover what's contributing to us not doing what we want to do.
Okay.
Right? So if, sometimes like, okay, we'll go back to something like, let's talk about maybe saving money. And somebody's saying, I want to save money and I want to have this amount of money. Well, what are some of the barriers for that? One of the barriers be in the moment, somebody spends money as a stress response. Retail therapy is one of the things they do. So to say I want to save money, what are the things that I know that might create barriers to that?
Right.
Right. Are there things that despite us wanting it, is there also a fear behind actually achieving it? We've heard about fear of success. Right. So I remember having a conversation with a friend many years ago who told me that one of her fears about becoming successful was a lot of family members then expecting too much from her.
That's a good fear. I mean,
right.
That's a
And so
legitimate
she didn't want to be in that position where they're like, you're doing all this, you're making all this. So can you this, can you this, can you this? She's like, and she said she recognized it was creating blockages in her actually moving forward. So even though she wanted success in one area, if we're not aware of where there might be a fear, where there might be something that creates a blockage, we don't necessarily recognize the subtle ways that we self-sabotage, because there's another thing that even though we want it, there's another reason why we don't.
That's good.
So if we're not practicing introspection to kind of figure out what's really going on, we just tell ourselves we're not motivated enough, we're lazy, we come up with all these ways to kind of slam ourselves, which doesn't help the case.
That's really good advice and a great example that you're sharing too.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you have a program that you're going to be inviting people to be able to participate in, and I really want to make sure people learn about the ins and outs of that so they know what to expect as we put the invitation up as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to dig a little bit more into this, and I've called it I'll Start on Monday, Change Beyond.
I'll start on Monday? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm doing a webinar on January 25th at 7 p.m. And I'm calling it I'll Start on Monday, and then Change Beyond Motivation, to talk about this very thing, to dig a little deeper into what are some of the reasons for not making the changes that we want to make.
Hey, Lady Anderson, how are you? Tanya Anderson. Listen, let me ask, is it going to be on a Monday by chance?
No, it's on a Thursday.
Oh. I was like, is it on a Monday? Is it
Thursday or Wednesday? I can't even remember what day of the week that is.
Okay. I'm going to put it in the comment section. Self-sabotage is real and often it's subconscious, is what someone also said as well.
I totally agree. There's a lot of subconscious nature to the self-sabotaging behavior.
Listen, in the comment section is the link for you to be able to participate in the webinar. It's not going to be on a Monday, but it's basically saying, hey, going beyond I'll Start on Monday theory. Natasha Halliday is going to be working with you one-on-one, or not one-on-one, but in a group setting that you're going to feel like you're one-on-one. Because when you talk with Natasha, you feel like you're the only person in the room with her.
So it's on a Wednesday. It's 1 hour. It's only $10, and because y'all are in the States, it's even less because it's $10 Canadian. Like I'm not like trying to make a huge profit over this. I just want to have some time to have a conversation with people about, let's dig in, and I chose towards the end of January because that's usually where people have been like, oh, I set these resolutions and I didn't follow through.
Right.
And then they're feeling pretty bummed about it. But if we're not understanding why, then we end up having these moments of, again, calling ourselves lazy, saying we're not motivated enough. And so it's recognizing, how can I step beyond these things and actually look at how to make sustaining change?
Everybody screenshot this.
And I just realized that change is spelled wrong. My goodness, I sent you something with a typo.
I thought it was some play on words. I saw that.
No, I totally didn't see that. Oh my God.
And I am so bad because I said, maybe that's a Canadian thing. Shabash.
No, that was a typo thing.
You know what? That's when your comedic spirit definitely comes to play, right?
Because no. What can you do but laugh? Because
it's all good. the bottom line is the information is definitely not going to be auto spelled or auto corrected.
It's not going to change the content. It's not going to change people getting an opportunity, because there's a series of questions that I want to take people through to ask themselves to help dig a bit deeper.
That's good.
Right?
So
I like to think about, as a therapist and as somebody who specializes in mental health, that I take people on emotional anthropological digs. So let's dig into self.
What kind of dig? Say it again.
Emotional anthropological. So I'm not an archaeologist, but like I take you through the emotional dig to get down to the below the surface, to uncover some stuff to help understand. Because if you think about it, we learn about our civilizations through digging into the deep. So we learn about ourselves emotionally by doing that dig into the deep as well.
So listen, the link is here. It's also in the comment section. So make sure you go to eventbrite.com/E, and I'll start on Monday, change beyond motivation tickets, because some of your podcast listeners. So make sure you go to eventbrite.com, and I'll start on Monday. If you search that in the Eventbrite, it'll pop up and you'll be able to be a part of this webinar that's coming up at the end of the month of January. But you'll be able to make some changes that you'll actually stick with in this year. Okay. All right. Let's see other comments that may have come in. I didn't want to. We've all been. Any other comments or points that you want to make regarding the psychology of change, Natasha, while you're here today?
One thing I think, just from a therapeutic point of view, is I really like to help people understand and validate the reasons we do things and how common a lot of these human traits are, because we often think it's just me.
It's just me.
There's memes and jokes about people not following through on New Year's resolutions, but internally, a lot of us still feel like I'm the only one who messed up and didn't follow through. And then there's that, that beating up on self. And there's really a lot of significant reasons behind why we struggle to follow through. And it's better to uncover that than to repeat the cycle every year, or to throughout the year, I'm going to start my diet on Monday or on the first of the month. And we set dates that don't coincide with necessarily what's happening internally.
Right. That's good. I mean, this has just been extremely enlightening. And because I feel like I've learned more about the psychology of change, and where contemplation meets preparation meets implementation, and then maintenance, is what I think I'm walking away with from today's discussion with you. And if we just grab hold of that theory, then we can be able to know how we can start walking out some of the new. I see you, Mackenzie. She popped back in. Thank you for helping me backstage today. And so I think if we continue in that vein, it's going to make a big difference. So everybody, make sure you check out this webinar that's happening, and it's coming up the end of the month of January. I'll start on Monday. Change Beyond Your Motivation tickets. Only $10. You can do this because it's going to be a game changer. Now, in your comedic side, before we just close out, I want to at least hear you say, is there a favorite joke you tell? Is there one thing that you are known for? What's your flair?
Well, I actually, and this was the funny thing, I had somebody I was working with, and we used to joke that we were going to create a comedy tour and call it "This Is Why I'm Single." Because the content we said we would talk about was our dating lives. Because most people can relate, and most people have had something ridiculous happen.
Okay.
And so what's funny now is I find every once in a while I'm just having a random conversation with somebody. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. I'm adding that to my comedy routine, because I'm like, unfortunately, well, now I think it's fortunate that I've met some men who have just been like, unbeknownst to them, were writing my act for me with some of the things they said.
Okay.
They did. So I think one of the recent things that I added to my comedy act, and I'm a thicker woman, I'm not a skinny woman. And I was thinner then, but I've still never been skinny. And a man told me once, he said, "You look durable." And I'm like, "What?" And he thought this was a compliment. Am I Rubbermaid? Like, so in my joke, I'm like, am I built for tough? Like, what is durable? Like, how do you say that to a woman? Think she's like, oh my God, do you want my number? Like, what? How do I respond to that?
Hi. Okay, so I'm a role play person. So, oh, baby, you look durable.
Yeah.
It's like, we won't be going out. What do you plan on doing with this durability?
I think that this is a compliment.
That is so crazy. That is definitely not a compliment. I don't know, but maybe it is.
I didn't quite receive it as that.
Maybe it is a compliment. I don't know. Men would have to chime in on that.
It might have been the intention, but again, it's, language is a very tricky thing. And so what's intended versus what's received there can definitely be a disconnect. So I think there was a disconnect in the saying that. And I mean, I understood the context. I understood the context was, I appreciate that you're not skinny. Like, I recognize that, but it was durable. Just literally the first thing I thought was, Rubbermaid, like those containers my parents bought in the 70s and lasted till now. So I'm like, am I durable like Rubbermaid? Am I like, I just don't know.
That's hilarious. So listen, this is today's episode, everyone. We've had a wonderful time with Michael and Carrie Bird from lessons.church, free app that you can go and download. And it is a very well-oiled situation machine type of thing that's free resources for you and your congregations. We've had Natasha Halliday here today to talk with us about the psychology of change. Listen, I encourage you to be a part of the virtual studio audience all this week, because we do have new episodes lined up for you. And if you're interested in pouring into our ministry, the Kim Jacobs Show, because I do believe it is a ministry, I've put in the comments section as well how you can also sow into the Kim Jacobs Show. So make sure you take a moment to do that. And it's greatly appreciated, anything that you do to make this program allow us to bring balance to the world, one household at a time. Okay? All right, Natasha, closing comment.
Closing comment. Ask yourself some questions before you decide what changes you want to make.
That's good. There you have it. We're closing on that note. Have a great day. And thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye. You're awesome. You are awesome.
Thanks so much.
Like what you do always. Go ahead and close out, Mackenzie. Have a great one, everybody. See you tomorrow. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Hello, everyone. I'm very grateful that you took the time to tune in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance the thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real, relevant, and relatable content on today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. It's the Kim Jacobs Show, and we are here with some fabulous people that's going to be talking to you about a wonderful opportunity that you don't want to miss. We have with us today Love Ford, and we have Camelia Carter. How are you all today?
Doing great, Kim. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you both for being here. And you all are definitely a bright light and difference makers, even though everybody may not know why I'm saying that, but they will throughout this hour, right?
That's right. That's right.
So everyone grab your virtual seats and tag as many people as you can. Share the broadcast on all of your own social media pages. Let people know that we're talking about something today that everyone can play a very important role in. So go ahead and take time to do that now. And if you would, Love and Camellia, am I saying your name right, Camellia?
Yes, yes.
Right. So Camellia first, just in like a nutshell of like 30 seconds or something, tell us what people can expect from today's discussion.
Well, today's discussion, you will be enlightened on how you can participate in a movement and helping Ghana's economy, as well as investing into your lives. So we're here as a humanitarian company to help you connect with Ghana, provide opportunities for you through housing. So that's kind of what you expect today.
Oh, I can tell already my cheeks are going to be burning throughout this broadcast. So if you're like, you know how when you're at a wedding and you're like, oh, and that's how I feel already in the first 5 minutes here. Okay, Love, tell everyone what they can expect to hear today from your perspective.
From my perspective, I definitely mirror what Camellia just shared. And it's a win-win opportunity because everyone wants to know what they can do. How can they make the world a better place? Well, we've got a solution for that. And so we definitely want to share it and welcome everyone to participate and be part of this movement.
Okay, so as you see, we're in for a great treat today, and I'm going to definitely be recognizing our studio audience. So if you have questions or comments or just some encouraging words to our guests, feel free to pop them in, and we will be popping them in throughout today's broadcast. What we're going to do is take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, I'm going to formally introduce these two women. And I'm talking fast because I want to jump right into the project. So we're going to introduce them, and then we're going to deep dive into this Ghana project. So Go ahead, everybody, and continue to grab your virtual seats. And we'll be right back right after this commercial break.
Nothing says I love you more than final expense insurance whole life protection. With funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions. 704-499-3616.
We are back, and we're going to go ahead and get started, making sure that some of the business professionals I know are also tagged today because people want to know how they can make a difference in Ghana. And one of the questions I definitely will kick off with is, why Ghana? Because a lot of times people want to know why this particular location. So get your minds right as I prepare to introduce you, because that's one of my questions that I want us to tackle. Okay.
Our motherland.
Huh?
I said it's the motherland.
All right. Well, see, you already answered. Come on, Love. Give me a chance to get the question out first. Love Ford loves to network and open the line of communication between investors, customers, and businesses to successfully complete deals and projects. Her mission is to create relationships, not transactions. She is always part of a solution as questions or issues arise. And this is what she's been known for over 25 years in the private sector. Her experience includes management, consultation, sales, team building, and professional development, strategic implementation, and company collaboration. She has received multiple MVP and sales awards in the Washington Mutual and Dun & Bradstreet world. So this woman is top-notch with her experience in building business credibility and credit worthiness. I am super excited that she is currently the CEO of Oracle Assets, LLC, where she offers business development consultation services. And she believes at the end of the day, life should ask us, do you want to save the changes?
Yeah.
Authors unknown. Welcome, Love Ford, to the Kim Jacobs Show. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I also want to formally introduce you all to another powerhouse, Camelia is a successful financial account manager with over 8 years of proven high performance. She's a team player with experience in the finance industry, driving high impact performance, sales goal oriented, and demonstrating ethical practice and customer care. She is able to perform at high quality levels in a very fast paced environment. Hello, Ghana. You're like, come on, y'all, get involved, get in where you can fit in. Okay. So here we are. She is certified in diversity and inclusion training in 2019, and she aims to embrace our unique experiences, reinforcing that our culture of inclusion and celebrating our diversity with the goal of providing mechanisms where all may be positioned for success. Her business, Start to Launch, helps companies to strategize projects for growth maximization. Oh, welcome, Camelia Carter.
Hi.
Oh my goodness. You know how people say OMG? Well, I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm honored to have you all here. So let's talk. Why Ghana?
Why Ghana? Ghana is the motherland, and it's time for us to go home. It's time for us to go home.
Okay.
Ghana is the motherland.
Interesting.
Yes.
What's your philosophy on that, Camelia?
Well, Ghana is growing as well. And the National Geographic, right, Love, deemed Ghana as a top vacation place and retirement place. Actually, Africa as a vacation area top. And it's
I know what she was gonna say. She was gonna
for
say
it. The economy is calling for it.
And people are going to be calling you the whole show because you're on your phone.
It's so silent. I don't know how they even got
And that's because you're popular over there with your high pace maximization and growth stuff. You're going to be busy, you know? So we'll just keep it going. But you're saying it's a growing area.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. And I do see here too that with Ghana, and I wanted to recognize this, with the recent economic growth in Ghana and African continent with approximately 1.7 million housing deficit, Ghana looks to create a luxury affordable housing community to support the growing middle class with the help of the Investor Group under the leadership of Dr. Is it Kizito?
Correct, Dr. Kizito.
Okay, so it's because too it's such a housing deficit in the area that's why you all are specifically focusing in this area?
Yes, that is definitely it, Kim. I actually had the pleasure of going to Ghana in December, and it was a life-changing experience. I was able to meet the team. I was able to see the project. I actually was invited to go to a groundbreaking ceremony. And what I can tell you is it was an awakening for me. I don't think I'll ever be the same. Able to visit the castles. I saw where the slave trades happen. And so something just clicks once you come home. I've always felt like the United States is my home, but when I went there, I really felt a sense of being home. It's just different. It is magical. And the conception that we have here in the United States of what you may think Africa is like, the continent is like, it's a complete misconception.
And now, did you get to go to, Camelia?
I am on my way.
I'm sure I'll be going at some point too. I do have my passport, so I'm ready to go.
But I will be getting dual citizenship very soon. I love I came to her a couple years ago and I talked to her and I said, hey, because we worked through Dun & Bradstreet together, but I contacted her and I said, hey, I saw the Ghana project and everything she was doing. And I said, let me know when you go because I'm already there. So if you know with anything. So I'm already in Ghana.
Okay, and you taking some mental vacations over there right now. But love, now you say with you actually visiting there at that particular time in your life, what was it that made you decide that I'm in, my life has changed? You said my life has changed forever. What was it that was the experience there that made you feel that way?
I feel like when I went to the castles and I saw where 1,000 people had to live at a time, and the conditions that they had to live in. And you could literally still smell the smell. After all of these years, you can still smell a hint of it, and you can feel the spirits. So you could feel the energy and the vibration once you're there. And when I went there and I saw that, it made me grateful and have more of appreciation for what I have. And it awakened me to realize that I'm not doing enough. I could be doing more.
Okay.
So when I left there, I'm like, I need to be doing more. I need to be giving more. I got to be about more. I've got to help with this housing crisis. I'm like, let's get this done, because it's time for a lot of us to stop talking about doing things or feeling resentment because we're being held back from so much. Now it's time to be part of the movement. Now it's time to be part of the change and stop talking about why we can't do this and why we can't do that. Now it's time to get involved. And so that's when I came back on a mission. I am on a mission. And I am also going to get dual citizenships. You guys will see me every other month. I will come back to visit, but I'm out of here.
Oh my goodness. And this all stemmed, just so I visualize what happened. Because I mean, people don't just up and go to Ghana. So when you went over there, you went for, what was the reason that you went there?
Great question. So I had been working on a blockchain project.
Okay.
And I met Dr. Kazito through that project. And so we started working together a year ago. And we've kept in contact, and we've been in communication. And he invited me to Ghana to the groundbreaking ceremony. And so that's how I got to go and over there. And it was the best decision ever.
And you went by yourself, or did you go?
I went by myself, Kim.
So paranoid. And God allows people.
I was completely taken care of. Yeah. I had security. I had a driver. I had a carrier that took me everywhere and made sure I was completely safe and taken care of. Think of Wakanda.
Oh my gosh, so I have to
Don't
go.
Think of they'll feed the children and all. Don't think of that. Think of Wakanda.
You over there doing Wakanda forever. You're like, yes.
The perception we have here is not correct.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait to go, Camelia. And I'm sure when you go, I'll probably be right there tagging along.
Oh, I already told my daughter, she's going to college. I said this year, how would you feel if your mom is in Ghana for 6 months at a time? I'm so serious. She's like, I'm fine, because she'll be over there too. Yeah, it's Ghana's in my heart. I had the opportunity to attend an event years ago for TD Jakes, International Leadership Summit in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the president of Ghana, that's when he came that year, last year. And when I tell you, it was just like a connection there. And it was just like, I just know I'm supposed to do something in Ghana, and I'm supposed to connect with Ghana. So I'm for love, for help, like allowing me to participate. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I thank Dr. Kazito, because he has been working on this project for close to 10 years. So this is not some overnight thing. Amazing. He has been working consistently on getting this project to where it is today. So I definitely want to give him thanks. And I thank Alex Slocum for introducing me to Dr. Kazito. So I definitely want to give those two people thanks.
Well, I am honored to give thanks as well. And I'm grateful, because I believe that nothing happens by happenstance, but that everything is ordained, and your two paths cross for a reason, because now y'all are going to be locked. And then Des, I said Des, because you and Des.
You know why you said Des? Because I wanted to say, I want to thank my sister Des too, because even though she's fighting cancer, she's still helping me. So she's still behind the scenes helping me, putting together with Camelia the marketing and all of that to make sure it has a good look and feel. So I was literally going to say, I want to make this. So the Holy Spirit led you to say it. So I'm grateful for that. We're good.
That's amazing, because we love Des. She's one of our Freestyle Friday experts, and we're going to talk more about her at some point throughout this broadcast too, because we do want to just give a formal shout out to her. And so honored that we are all connected in a variety of ways, even from a family. And two of my nieces are loves. We share the same nieces as well. So things happen for a reason where we all cross our paths here. But let me go ahead and show a couple of pictures that I have here from, is this the ribbon cut?
That is the IMVG team. That's the team in Ghana that's ready to help whoever like to purchase a home, whether they want to relocate or rent the home out. That's the team in Ghana that's ready to assist.
Wow. Okay. And they do look at that, like almost like, how you see Chick-fil-A. I would think of a Chick-fil-A of Ghana right here, because they all like they're excited and eager to serve, just in a photo. You can feel it right in the photo. Let's see some more pictures here.
That is Dr. Kizito. That's the man behind the mission, behind the movement. So he's the one that started this about 10 years ago.
Wow. And I know he has to be so proud that it's really becoming a reality. And I'm
proud of him and for him. So yes.
Now, this is you in the pulpit. Where are you? You minister? What are you doing?
Yes, I was on stage, and I had an opportunity to speak to some politicians that attended, from the housing minister's office, the secretary's office. There were people well connected in Ghana that are part of this project, that support this project. So yes, I was on stage with them.
Wow. Okay. I have some more pictures too, because I'm like, what am I seeing here? When I was going through all of these photos. Let me pop another one up here. Let's see what's happening here in this one. Oh, I didn't pop it in yet. Give me a second. There we go. I have Mackenzie. She probably like, you should have told me this. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's Dr. Kizito just speaking to the community about the project and welcoming them to that area. Is called Mama Dede, and the first 156 units will be built at this location.
Right at this location behind him, right here.
See all that land and the beautiful greenery in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, we're literally on the lot, and then the house that you're seeing is the model that was built. It's a 3-bedroom.
This one here?
Correct.
Awesome. So they've already started building projects.
Oh, yes. We are ready to go. We're ready to push this movement forward. So we are looking for people that want to invest, relocate. We're looking for people that want to do something to be part of this movement. The 2 bedrooms start at $49,950, and the 3 bedrooms $69,950. And they also have a property management team in Ghana. If you want help, at an additional cost with renting your unit out. And typically in Ghana, when they do rent, Kim, it's not month to month like it is here. They rent it up front for 12 to 24 months.
12 to 24 months is completely paid for.
Up front.
Wow. Okay. So just so everybody's aware, let me go back, because I want to make sure what y'all are seeing here. This is one of the models of a 3-bedroom home that is already erected in Ghana. And this is going to be the model that is being used for some of the other homes that will be built. Do you know approximately how many homes they're looking to build here in Ghana?
We're building up to 1 million homes. The government
up to 1 million homes?
1 million homes. The government has worked with Dr. Kizito and has provided him all the land that he needs. And so as we're developing, we're acquiring land. So we have 600 acres approximately that's already ready to be developed, and in the process of finalizing 2,000 additional acres, which would build approximately 65,000 homes within the next 12 months. So this is like a 10-year project.
This is
an ongoing project. And so I really want people to know about it and get in while the price points that they are right now. Because the the price is probably going to go up. The economy is going over there by leaps and bounds. So
amazing, amazing. Okay, let's see. What is this image here?
These are people on the team that were at the groundbreaking ceremony, just sitting in the audience. Another thing too, they have 2 banks that will be backing the project for investors that want to buy. So if you don't want to pay cash, you do have an option to pay terms. Dr. Kazito will work with you where you can split the payments into 4 equal payments. But we also have 2 banks in Ghana, Al Bank and Republic Bank, that will be offering financing. So you put 20% down and then it's a 15-year note for all eligible. Correct. That is correct. And that's a big deal. And I've been told by people that have moved to Ghana that when you have the financing component, that's a game changer, because that was the missing piece. All of these communities will have schools. So education, yes, mini marts. Some of them will have clinics.
Oh my
Yes, so it's
goodness.
gonna be like a whole little community.
This is crazy. This is like unbelievable. So where people are always looking for ways to participate and to contribute, that you're bringing that right here on the Kim Jacobs Show to our viewing studio audience, and all of you have the exact level playing field opportunity to be a part of this project. So let me see there. I know that there are some things that I want to make sure we don't miss. What does your organization in particular, and Camelia, you can answer this as you and Love when we come back, but I want you to kind of start off and talking about some of this too, is what kind of role are you going to be playing when we come back after this commercial break? We'll be right back, everyone, and we're going to talk more with Camelia Carter and Love Ford about the Ghana Housing Project right after this break. Wow. I'm excited what y'all are doing too. So Mackenzie, I don't know, she's backstage doing something. So let me just go to our commercial break. Everyone, we'll be right back. Here we go.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter & Everett, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
Much to our episode sponsor, which is Hunter Everett Law Firm, and we'll put their contact information right in the comment section for you all to reach out to them if you have any kind of disability claim or you have any type of wrongful death of a loved one. We definitely want you to know that Hunter Everett is one of our sponsors, and you can let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show actually sent you their way. All right, so thank you, Attorney Charles Everett with Hunter Everett Law Firm, and Attorney Hunter and Attorney Peyton, all of you all, for being one of our episode sponsors today. Okay, so let's learn more. What is your role as a company in this whole project?
Right. So I'm Director of Operations. So I work with ADM. So I'm under Love's company. And so I'm Director of Operations, project management, those tedious tasks, making sure things are pretty much getting done in the time frame that they need to get done, and helping Love with, anything that she needs to be, help with or whatnot. So I'm here. Yep.
Excellent. And Love, can you even further expound what role your company plays?
Sure. So Camelia heads up Africa Development Movement, and what Africa Development Movement does, also known as ADM, is it pushes forward the movement of not only the homes being purchased in Ghana, but there's also a store. If you don't want to purchase a home, you can purchase items from the store, and a percentage of the proceeds from the store will go to different things. So it can go towards someone, doing their expression of interest or the reservation fee. We want to get to a point where people, we're purchasing homes for people in Ghana. Also nonprofits, like the Gabe's Heart Foundation. I would love for the Gabe's Heart Foundation to be able to participate in Africa doing random acts of kindness. So we would support things. Yes, we would support things like that with Africa Development Movement.
Wow. Okay. And so people that want to get involved, where would they go to get involved?
they can go to www.ghanahousingproject.com, and they can send us, an email from there. They can join our Zoom calls. There's a Zoom every Wednesday at 8 p.m. for the next 10 weeks. So the link is right there on the site. We go there, we tried to make sure that everything was accessible so that it's easy for people to get the information.
Wow. Okay. So every Wednesday at 8:00 p.m., you can join in on a Zoom. The Zoom information is right under GhanaHousingProject.com. Go to that, right?
That's right.
You go there and then you'll get the information for you to be able to hear exactly firsthand what's happening with this project. Let me ask too, do you think that, and I don't know, I'm just asking my own questions, but you all can ask your own questions for the studio audience for real. Is this like credit based where people have to have great credit and a great, like you said, Dun and Bradstreet number and be representing a company? It's a lot of different questions I'm asking. Or is it just, no, I am Kim and I can come and be a part of this?
So in terms of the banks, they said the process will take like a week to 2 weeks for the approval process to be completed. And so I'm sure they're going to ask for traditional things to make sure that you can afford to make your payments. But it should be a streamlined process. It should not be complicated or complex, and you will know within a week or two if you can move forward with purchasing through a mortgage. If that doesn't work out for you, Dr. Cazito is allowing people to split the payments into quarterly payments. So you put your down payment and your reservation fee, and then from there he would split the payments into three more payments so that you can do this.
So regardless, I'm tagging a person that is in Cameroon, I know. Okay. I'm just thinking of people, I'm like, you need to be on this, hearing this. But yeah, this is some good stuff. So
if you can also pay in full too. You don't have to go the
That's true.
Have the house have the the 2-bedroom or the 3-bedroom, you can pay up front. That's not a problem. And then also if you're with an organization or a group, you can come together and purchase as well as a group or in bulk. You can purchase in bulk too.
You know what we would like to see, Kim? We would like to see the Delta fraternity buy a whole community. We would like to see the AKAs buy a whole community in Ghana. We would love to see different church organizations buy communities, not 1 or 2 homes, but buy a community for $10 million and name the streets, name the buildings.
Right.
That would be phenomenal. That would be the ultimate. And that's what I would definitely love to see.
I just tagged any Delta. I was like, well, I done tagged somebody in the Midwest region. I don't know. They're probably like, what's she tagging?
And Avenue and all that.
That is so wonderful. So no matter what your financial situation is, there are opportunities for you to collaborate with other people that still you can join forces and still buy a home in Ghana. So
could you imagine like the Detroit Lions having a whole community and then they have the buildings named after the different players, basketball, football, all the sports get together, and then the rental income is going in towards the retirement fund or something? I'm just throwing examples out there, but the rental income that's collected can go towards funding. And so it's a win-win situation where they're helping Manatee and then they're also benefiting.
This is good.
Yeah.
I just tagged somebody from the Black Film Festival because he does these whole Black Film Festival tours.
Right.
This might be a film that people need to learn more from.
Hey, I'm ready for the movies.
I am thinking this is just incredible. So listen, if you have questions or comments, pop them in. What is the goal? What are you trying to accomplish as an organization yourself spearheading this project? What is the ultimate goal?
To bring awareness, to bring people together, to form a movement. It's a call home. It really is a call to home. I'm gonna just be real straightforward about it. I feel like the motherland is calling us, and now we need to do something. We've been idle for a while.
Right, and it goes with when I started looking into the 400-year return that Ghana released was in 2019.
It was like
400-year mark. for the year of return. And that's when I started getting more aware of Ghana. And I was on the dual citizenship then. And so everything is just like aligning. I definitely feel like there's a call home. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I see the website. If you all go to the website, GhanaHousingProject.com, and I'll put that in the actual comment section here. Everything you need to know is there for you to be able to stay connected with this initiative. And I see a lot of your comments that's coming in. Please make sure you're sharing this broadcast. Don't deprive anybody of the opportunity to be a part of this Ghana Housing Initiative. And please, if you do get a chance, let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way when you do reach out, okay?
That'd be awesome.
So listen, I would love for us to, Mackenzie, I'll take care of this for 1 second. I just want to show you all just the commercial. It's a commercial that they have, and it gives you a flavor of what the Ghana Housing Project is about. Let's take a look at it.
Ghana has an approximately 1.7 million housing deficit. The Ghana Housing Project is marketing the ability of investors to support the housing crisis. Investors can purchase homes to relocate, a second home, or rent. Nonprofit and profit organizations can acquire a home for a family. With the recent economic growth in Ghana and the African continent, with an approximately 1.7 million housing deficit, Ghana looks to create a luxury affordable housing community to support the growing middle class with the help of Investigroup under the leadership of Dr. Owusu Kizito. Ghana was recently featured as a top 10 location in the world to retire. Investigroup has started developing in Accra and surrounding areas with a goal of up to 1 million homes, featuring affordable luxury 2 bedrooms starting at $51,000 and 3 bedrooms starting at $71,000. INVG, Investigroup, and Africa Development Movement are separate companies and do not have prior affiliations with each other. Africa Development Movement does not represent the buyer or the seller and is simply marketing the Ghana Housing Project initiative. INVG will work directly with buyers with purchase of apartments in Ghana and investing in InvestiFund LP.
All right. We can't hear you.
Oh,
there you go.
Did it just cut off?
Well, it ends with InvestiFund LP and then it stops.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, mid-sentence. How did it happen? I thought it was something I did. Okay.
No, it was ending.
I was leaning in because I was listening to Mackenzie. Thank you for popping in. Okay, so I'm gonna put you backstage here. Hold on. This is perfect. So listen, that is extremely. It's visionary. That's the only word I could think of.
Yeah.
It is a visionary for.
Yeah.
And so I'm impressed with how things are really kind of coming together here, and with the help of individuals and companies and investors and philanthropists and angel investors, these type of initiatives can really become a reality in Ghana, is what I'm understanding.
That is correct. And Investigroup is handling the housing side of the fund. LP is for accredited investors and institutions that want to contribute to the infrastructure. And so they are building cold and dry storage warehouses in Ghana. We already have one up that is ready to be rented. And they're going to be building hotels. There's going to be solar farming, everything. And so through InvestiFund LP, that is for accredited investors and institutions. And that is a 10-year return on your investment. So you receive a return on your investment for 10 years with that. And the return ranges between 15 and 20% annually. So that's the other side of this project. So you can come in as an individual, or you can come in on an institutional or accredited investor level as well.
Good gracious.
You've got it all covered.
Yeah.
It sounds like it. And so how big of a problem is this housing issue in Ghana? How do you, either of you want to touch on that?
Yeah, it's a big problem. One of the things that I recognized when I went there, it seems like Ghana never sleeps. And what I realized just in traveling and going from place to place, there's like entrepreneurship is something that is promoted there. So there, imagine going from Greensboro to Charlotte and just seeing businesses in tents lined up on the expressway all the way from Charlotte to Greensboro. And then when that shift ends, another family member will come out and run the business. So it's like they never.
Interesting.
Yes, it's always ongoing. And so with the housing crisis and with the way the people work there, this is just, I feel like it's a tremendous opportunity, because housing is a basic need. Housing is a basic need that we all deserve, and we all have a right to. So this project is going to solve that problem. It's going to solve that problem. It's going to contribute to solution.
Okay. And what were you going to say, Camelia?
Yeah, and if you also think about, all the training that we have here in America as African Americans, our education, excuse me, our knowledge, everything that we have, not to say that Ghana doesn't have some of that, but we can take that information and bring it back to Africa and help build and bring that knowledge and help them to structure their businesses and help them to do, all things by just going back and participating in this project. We also bring our knowledge.
That's right.
Our education. We are really putting everything into this economy. And that's one of the things that the president of Ghana was talking about. We bring our expertise back to the economy that when we left, it's like all of this stuff now, because we've grown in education, women, African women, we bring all of that back.
Well, okay, because this is so, and I'm not trying to put any controversial spin on it, but there is so much that's needed right here in the United States too. So when people want to invest, sometimes people do go outside and they'll go and find initiatives like this. Do you all have any type of investor groups or anything here in the United States too that's interested in investing here, or no? Is it just primarily there?
It's primarily in Ghana right now. It's primarily over there, and it's going to expand to other African countries.
Okay.
But it's starting in Ghana. So this movement is to build Africa.
And I'm so excited personally. I've already said that. I think I've already made that quite clear. And let me put too, because the views expressed, and Mackenzie, I got it. I know you can't wait to click this button. She forever put it in this, but the views expressed are our own personal views. Okay, it doesn't always reflect that of the show,
Right.
CTR Media Network, or Believe in Your Dreams Network, because I'm streaming on those platforms as well.
Right.
But I personally am excited that you all have selected Ghana and the initiative that's kicking off there, and to see some things actually not just having a conversation about it, but to have the model there. It's like, here you go. And this is what the plan is, and have all of the schematics, the blueprints, the different things ready to go. It's just super exciting to me.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm excited to be a part of it too, Kim. I really do feel blessed, and I'm very grateful. And I'm excited to see who comes on this journey.
Well, if you know that you're going to be going on this journey, whether it's because you're going to be collaborating with some other individuals, or if you yourself personally are an investor or a pastor or a business owner, and you know that this is something that kind of God has been putting down on the inside of your belly and has been nagging at you to do something, then please put in the comment sections that I'm helping with Ghana, I'm going to be reaching out Say
Yeah.
something so people know that you will be reaching out to them. And that's what we're doing. You know, sometimes when you have those telethons and different things that are happening and people are telling you, call 1-800, blah, blah, blah. So I'm telling you, according to the Ghana Housing Project, reach out to GhanaHousingProject.com. Reach out to GhanaHousingProject.com. Reach out to GhanaHousingProject.com. Do it now. Reach out to Ghana Housing Project. I promise I'm not joking. I'm quite excited that this project is happening. So reach out to GhanaHousingProject.com and do it now. Do it not right now during the show. Wait till 12:01. 12:01. Then do it. All right. All right. Listen, we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, let me see so you can have a courtesy heads up on where we might go next with our conversation. We talked about how somebody can get involved and what type of person is going to love being a part of the project. And we're going to go to some of our studio audience comments. We'll do a flash round and give you a chance to answer some questions and to hear some of the comments that are flooding in. Okay?
Okay, that sounds great.
Right after this commercial break from our episode sponsor, Silver Shield Security. Silver Shield-Security is a place that you want to be able to have for your home security.
It's not just another day.
Right back.
It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands.
That was.
Stop that commercial because it has some copyright stuff in it and play the one.
Okay.
Because I won't be able to use this.
I
Here
have
we
peace
go.
of mind
Here we go.
with Silver Shield Security, which has been protecting my family and home, along with servicing the Carolinas for over a decade. Silver Shield Security knows the importance of convenience and safety. Whether you live in an apartment, a home, or run a business, they are here to protect you from unwanted intrusions and fires. Call now at 704-440-4688 or visit the website at www.silvershield-security.com. You can use my promo code #ToneX and get 1/2 off your installation price. Don't forget to ask about the new no money down options. At Silver Shield Security help to give you peace of mind, just like me and my family, and keep your business safe.
We're going to go to some of our virtual studio audience comments. Mackenzie, if you would pop some of those in, and we're going to acknowledge as many as we can right now. Let's see who's coming on with some comments. I see my mom is on. She said, hey, I'm loving watching this. Love, I'm watching you. You, love. Sounding just like Dez. I even thought Dez was on the show. My mom and my son are watching in the other room. And they're like, is that Aunt Dez on the show? That's what they thought was happening. So they were like, is that Aunt Dez? I said, no,
Des would be happy for me to let everyone know that I am the older sister. So Des sounds like me. When she introduces me as her older sister.
Oh, that's right, right. Even though y'all sound just alike. Okay, Zeke says, I'm in Ghana. Okay, so
hi, Mr. Zeke.
Zeke said he's in. He's definitely in, and he's going to be supporting the Ghana project. He's in Ghana, and so glad to have you here in the virtual studio audience today. Let me also do this in case anybody wants to pop on in today's broadcast and ask a direct question head to head. I'll be happy to put this link. All you have to do is copy and paste it into your browser, and it'll bring you into the virtual studio audience. Now, when you do that, let me be very clear. You're going to pop into the broadcast. So be prepared to ask your question quickly or say your comment and keep it moving, okay? Some people come on like, 10 minutes. I'm like, didn't I tell you? And then some people like, they come on and they're like, where am I? You're in virtual studio. All right. Let's keep it moving. Let's see. Other comments. Okay, so somebody, I think my mom is talking to one of the other virtual studio audience members. So it's like we're in the studio audience, and she's like, hey, Damona DeBrew. That's who I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do. You're gonna reach out to. She said, contact Love and her team, and they will give you some great information. Let's keep in touch and tell your mom hello. I miss y'all so much. So my mama and Damona, who must be also in the studio audience, they talking like they sitting away from each other. Girl, meet me out, and when we get out of the show, meet me in the hallway because I have something to tell you. Okay, in their own world. Okay, thank y'all both for being here. Let's see any other comments come in. I just sent this one to some of my family members. I will need the Wednesday Zoom link, please.
It's on the website. So as soon as you go to GhanaHousingProject.com, at the top, you'll see a tab that says Zoom meeting. Just click that tab and you'll see the link right there. You just click the link at 8 o'clock and you'll be led into the meeting.
I'm glad you're saying that because what I'm going to do right now, I'm a visual person, is I'm going to share the screen with you all so you all will know exactly
where to
go. That way, nobody has any question as to how you can formally get this Wednesday, 8 o'clock p.m. meeting link. This is where you go. I'm going to go to GhanaHousingProject.com and you will see, I'm going to pop this right at the very top where it says Zoom meetings. That's what you're going to click on in order for you to get the information. When you click on that, it says Zoom meeting, 8 o'clock p.m. And here is where you're going to click to join and how much the starting for 2 bedrooms, the starting price for 3 bedrooms. Okay. So that's where you're going to get the Wednesday night Zoom meeting link.
And Kim, we're also encouraging people that are interested to travel to Ghana, to visit, to go see the project, go meet the team. And so I am going to put together a group going in August, September, and again, definitely in December. So if there's anyone that wants to travel to Ghana, there's a visit tab there as well. They can go ahead and submit information on the visit tab. Actually, I think the visit tab is on africadevelopmentmovement.com. So either site will connect you to us. But yeah, if you're interested in visiting, if you're interested in seeing the project, if you are interested in meeting the team, we want you to do that. We want you to experience what it feels like to be over there, because you are definitely going to feel a sense of being home, like finally home.
Okay. The thing is, when we come back, when I go, because I'm going to go at some point, right? So when I go, because you're different than Camelia and I at this point, only because we haven't been. So I feel like it's a situation that you only know once you know, and once you really experienced it, then you're kind of sold out for it type of thing.
Because there are kings and queens in Ghana. So you're among royalty. So it's amazing to be there and experience it. So
you're gonna have me coming out there walking. I'll be like, okay, hello, I'm here. Where do I go? Where would I need? They'd be like, girl, if you don't sit down somewhere, you the most. You doing
no,
the most.
They're gonna help you. Everyone is so welcoming and loving, and it's just a kind place to be. It's just a wonderful, kind place to be.
Oh my God. Camelia, you're ready, aren't you?
I am there.
How are you gonna act? How are you gonna act when you get over there? Oh, look at your eyes. Look at your eyes. You said.
No, I'm just, I have to remember that I have to come back to America.
Okay. Well, now don't get me wrong. I love these great United States of America. I am honored to be an American citizen.
I am too. But I'm excited. I'm excited about this new experience.
I'm excited too.
There are people already planning to move to Ghana. There are people that are already in Ghana. Camelia has introduced me to someone. Her name is Maya Gilliam, and she actually has a spa in Ghana. And she's been in Ghana for 10 years. She goes back and forth every month to Ghana from the
US.
US.
My show in Ghana, well, it might already be because CTR Media Network streams in 68 countries. But I definitely want the Kim Jacobs show streaming daily in Ghana.
I know, yes, for sure. Let's make it happen. But
Girl, you got me crossing my legs over here. Y'all can't even see all this. I'm down here, I got my legs crossed.
She has a successful spa there. And so when people want to travel there, I'll definitely make sure they also connect with her and have an opportunity to visit her spa. She told me that when people go there, she gives them free tea and they get like a free 2 to 3 minute massage that's complimentary when you go. Yeah. So it's just a welcoming place to be. If you are here in the United States and you want to go somewhere, and this is my opinion, you want to go somewhere where you feel welcome and you feel a sense of love, you want a sense of love and just people that want to support you and love on you and have a community of people that are about things, then you should go.
I'm looking forward to it, and I promise I will wear some shoes because I have my socks on right now.
Oh, it's hot. It's hot. In December, it was hot. It was like 90.
Okay, so I can wear some flip flops.
Yeah, you definitely gonna want to wear the less clothes the better, or the thinner your clothes the better, and definitely
interesting. And that was in December.
Afrochella.
I think it is Afrochella in December. It's supposed to be huge.
Okay. Yeah. And Arnetta Caldwell, she has a podcast called Reinvent It, and she is one of our Freestyle Friday experts. She said, wow, this is just so amazing. And I'm sure her and her family will be looking into this as well. She said, good morning. Benita says, good morning to everybody, ladies. And Sure Patel says, this is a great opportunity. Can't wait to be involved. Lots of people are just chiming in. I see all of your comments. I don't want to overlook anyone, but I want to make sure that great project and great idea. Yes, just hello, everyone. Demona, that's the person that was talking to my mom, said, hey, I'm just joining in and I'm planning a trip to Ghana at the end of this year. This is interesting. Maybe Demona, you can go on the project tour with them while you're there.
Yes, if you're interested, we welcome you to travel with us. Again, it'll be August, September, and again in December. So there'll be more information on that on the site.
And then someone else said, hey, I'm very excited about this too. Make sure you all reach out to them at the GhanaHousingProject.com. Are there homes as well, or just apartments? Because this person.
Well, they're units, almost like what you would expect a condo unit to hear. So that's a great question. So there are units. There are people that are building homes there that have reached out to me, like on a onesie, twosie type of basis. So if you have like a specific need, let me know, and I'll get you connected to who you need to be connected with.
Excellent. And then someone wanted to know, what is the cost for the trip in December? And then I'm thinking this may be Akaya Canada. Now, she is a powerhouse as well. She has a mission project called My Mission is Love. My Purpose is Love. It is a beautiful initiative that she's spearheading in the North Carolina area. And I'm sure she would be interested in this going global as well. So she wanted to know about the cost in December for that trip.
So Amaya, it depends on when you book your ticket. So when I went within a 1 week period. So my ticket was expensive. So it just depends on when you book your ticket. And then I stayed at a hotel called the Kempinski Hotel. And that hotel has a museum in it. There are upscale stores in the hotel.
So you went all out. You did it.
Yeah, it was amazing. And so it just depends on, when you go to the AfricaDevelopmentMovement.com, put your budget in there, and then our team in Ghana can work with you with your budget. So it depends. Do you want to go basic, or do you want to go first class? I mean,
well, I'm gonna tell you, these two women right here went on first class. Let me show you. You think she went basic? Let's see. Do you think she went basic? No, she was like, I'm all the way in. And I can tell you right now, when Camellia goes, that's how she rolling, just like that.
First class.
Y'all, we're talking to Love Ford and to Camelia Carter, and we're talking about the Ghana Housing Project, an initiative that anyone can participate in. Here's how you can stay connected with them. Tell them once again, either of you, Camelia, you haven't talked that much. Tell them how they can stay connected.
Go to GhanaHousingProject.com. There's tabs up there. Connect with us. We'll get back with you within 24 to 48 hours in regards to the trip. If you're interested, all of the information is there. We'll definitely get in contact with you.
And I do want to, because some people are just joining in and you're probably like, what is the Ghana Housing Project? Kim just recently tagged me and I don't know what's going on. So I want to take a moment just to play again, if y'all don't mind.
No.
I want to play that clip to show you the Ghana Housing Project initiative.
Ghana has an approximately 1.7 million housing deficit. The Ghana Housing Project is marking the ability of investors to support the housing crisis. Investors can purchase homes to relocate, a second home, or rent. Nonprofit and profit organizations can acquire a home for a family. With the recent economic growth in Ghana and the African continent, with an approximately 1.7 million housing deficit, Ghana looks to create a luxury affordable housing community to support the growing middle class with the help of Investa Group, the leadership Dr. Owusu Kizito. Ghana was recently featured as a top 10 location in the world to retire. Investa Group has started developing in Accra and surrounding areas with a goal of up to 1 million homes, featuring affordable luxury 2 bedrooms starting at $51,000 and 3 bedrooms starting at $71,000. IMVG, Investa Group, and Africa Development Movement are separate companies and do not have prior affiliations with each other. Africa Development Movement does not represent the buyer or the seller and is simply marketing the Ghana Housing Project initiative. INVG will work directly with buyers with the purchase of apartments in Ghana and investing in InvestaFund LP.
All right, that's it. Once you're LP, I got in my mode. I was already looking at the studio audience. So Investa Group, InvestaFund LP, right?
So Investa Group is the Ghana Housing Project, and then InvestaFund LP. Then InvestaFund LP is what you may want to look at.
Okay.
That's a 10-year return on investment.
Now, someone wanted to know, are you all interested in possibly expanding your initiative to, I gotta go back and look at the comments. There's been a lot of comments coming in. Okay, hey, we're awesome information that you're sharing. We're working in Tanzania and would love to connect with you and chat with you about Tanzania.
Sure, send us a message on the GhanaHousingProject.com website, and we can definitely set up a Zoom meeting to have a conversation. Absolutely.
And I see that they have Dr. Les Brown, international motivational speaker, in their photo there. So they must be doing some work with him. A lot of people that watch the Kim Jacobs show have come from Les Brown because he's my mentor as well. And so that's who some of the people are that's chiming in as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, this is good. What else do you want people to know? So yes, Haki, you all can connect via social media and make sure that you have a conversation with them about that.
Absolutely. I just want to encourage people to be the movement. Stop talking, stop blaming, stop pointing the finger. It's time for us to get up and be the movement. Okay. This is the opportunity. These price points may not last much longer. I don't know how long it's going to last. And so now's the time to get involved. Get involved now and be the movement.
Okay. And Camelia?
I agree. Be the movement. It is time for change. We've been talking about it. This opportunity is huge. I mean, a 3-bedroom costs as much as a car, pretty much spend so much on cars. And so it's a huge opportunity for you to just expand your life and live what you've been talking, how you want to live and the change you want to have. So like Love said, be the movement.
Be the movement.
Wow. All right. Be the movement, you guys. You want to hashtag be the movement, hashtag be the movement, and Ghana Housing Project, hashtag Ghana Housing Project. Let's all hashtag that now. Put hashtag Ghana Housing Project. Now I done misspelled it. Now, you know, that's right there. It'd be like, that's not what you, okay, there we go. I got it correct. And people, yes, we all love Dr. Les Brown, international motivational speaker. So yes, I see you.
I would love for you to bring him with you, Kim. You should bring him to Ghana with you.
Well, I definitely can do everything I can to make something like that happen and be like, hey, don't you want to go back to the
right?
And
It's calling. It's calling. Come home.
Come home, according to Love and Camelia. Go ahead, Camelia.
I was just gonna. I have my son listening to him at night while he sleeps. Les Brown. Yeah.
We all do. So he said, if you fall back. So if you can look up, get up. But one of the most profound things that I've heard him say, which has resonated with me for many years, is that we don't want to come to the end of our lives and around our bedside are our gifts and our talents. And they're angry with us because we did not use the gifts and the talents that God put inside of us, and they had to live in our bodies. So I commend both of you.
Oh, thank you, Kim.
Yeah, I commend you because he talks about living full and dying empty. And I'm just believing that that's part of why you're on this mission, Love and Camelia, because you want to live full, do everything you can on this earth, and die leaving nothing on this earth.
We all have more. We all have more that we can give.
Yes. Well, I'm committed to leaving no stone unturned. Whatever God's will is for my life, I want to be a part of it. Even if it's like I'm a Haymon, I don't care. I'm using the gifts and the talents he gave me.
For this platform is awesome. Thank you for allowing us to be here today.
Well, Damona said her dreams are coming true and she can't wait to learn more, live full and die empty. And you're so welcome, both of you, for being here today. If any of you want to be a part of just even keeping a program like the Kim Jacobs Show literally coming on the air as often as it does, which is daily, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m., I encourage you to invest in our program as well. Literally, any amount is great. So it's no amount that's too small. And we're only thriving from community contributions by members like yourself. So just yesterday, one of the community members gave $150. So it's like, whoa, thank you. We appreciate the support from our community members. So please pour into the Kim Jacobs Show. You can do it through $ Kim Jacobs Inc. or through paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. I say that because we have audio podcast listeners on iHeartRadio and Spotify and different places that aren't seeing this. And so you can contribute in any Zelle. Anyway, you want to contribute, reach out to me. You can give to the Kim Jacobs Show. And make sure you subscribe as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that the program can continue to grow and thrive. And you can do that right at Kim Jacobs Show on YouTube. All right, closing comments.
Be the movement. I can't say it enough. I'm beating it in everybody's head. Be the movement.
Yeah. I'm in Ghana already.
You're in Ghana. You're in Ghana. So that's the point. You're in Ghana. Keep in mind, everybody, today's episode is sponsored by CTR Media Network as well. And if you're looking to have a podcast stream on CTRmedianetwork.com, just let me know and I'll send you a referral form and connect you with the appropriate person. And I am excited for everything that's happening with the Ghana Housing Project. Stay connected with these two beautiful women that are letting God use them in a significant way to make a difference on this earth. And you can stay connected with them right at the Ghana Housing Project, GhanaHousingProject.com. And participate in the Wednesday night, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zoom meetings, which lays out everything you need to know about the project. Yeah. I went over a little bit on purpose because I want you to get it. I want you to get it. Absolutely. Absolutely. I see all your comments. Sounds like a dream come true. Ghana Housing Project is being hashtagged a lot. So make sure you all keep hashtagging that. I see y'all hashtagging Ghana Housing Project. All right. I think that's all we can cover in this last period of time. If you could just say, who is the ideal person, love? Who is the ideal person? If you had to paint a picture of the ideal person to start trying to help in this initiative, who would it be?
Anybody. I mean, it could be a single mom that wants to do something for her kids, make a difference. Someone that's looking for a potential return on their investment every month to help out with their bills here if they're still here. Again, in Ghana, it's typical that they pay their rent upfront for 12 to 24 months. And so if you get financing and funding, and then you have your rent prepaid for 12 to 24 months, that could possibly make a difference for you here. I encourage you to probably use that money to go over there and visit, but just, an idea or an example, not saying anything definitive, but this is for anybody who wants to see something different in their life, that wants something different, and that wants, in my opinion, wants more.
Wow. I think that beautifully sums it up. And did you have anything different, Camelia?
No, there's nothing left to say, but .com, let's go. Let's just
It's time to go. If you want to be a part of it, make sure you go to GhanaHousingProject.com and be a part of this movement. And it really is a movement. And there are people waiting for these properties. It's not like you're going to have these properties be built and nobody's going to go in them.
There's a 1.7 million housing deficit. So 1.7 million people need a place to live.
So they just need you to go ahead and invest and be able to make this become a reality. Now, normally I would say if there is a show that's being dedicated to someone, typically you notice that person is no longer on this earth as far as people that I've dedicated things to in the past. But today's show is dedicated to somebody who is alive and thriving and fighting this thing called cancer. And her name is Desreen Gerald. And Des needs all of our prayers, love, and support. But she is a warrior. She's not. She ain't taking this thing lightly.
Wakanda. She got her Wakanda picture up. That's right.
I did not help her put this picture. Desreen Gerald. She's going to be coming here on the Kim Jacobs Show. She also has her own healing home where she's going to be talking about a wide variety of things. Make sure you go and subscribe. Videos are going to be uploaded soon. So subscribe to Healing Home and support her journey. She is a warrior, and there you have it. She is fighting this thing called cancer, but she's kicking it in the head and doing it with grace and dignity. And I just want to tell you, Des, that we love you. We all support you, and we celebrate you in your journey called life.
Yeah. And I'm on my way to go be with her now. She's having chemo today, so
I knew that. So that's why I wanted to
go visit her right now.
Yay. And so she's just a warrior. And with her being one of Freestyle Friday experts over the years, she's talked about real estate, but you never know how God really is. We started off about some real estate, but now when she comes on, she's going to be talking about healing home and how she's beating and kicking this whole thing in the head called cancer. So, and she's doing it again with grace and ease and dignity. And I'm just really grateful that God would even allow her to show other people how to get to the other side of that mountain. And I'm grateful for her testimony. All right, that's today's episode, everybody. We will see you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Here, one more time, I'm going to share with you how you can stay connected with these lovely vessels. GhanaHousingProject.com. GhanaHousingProject.com. Thank you for tuning in today. If you want to stay connected with the Kim Jacobs Show, I want to make sure I put this up because, we're getting ready to close out. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay backstage, ladies, okay?
Okay.
All right. And thank you, Dr. Lotus Shea, for these intro and outro commercials that you did. I really like them. Thank you. I love them. Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference. And I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.
Hello, welcome to Melanated Homeschooling Families Podcast, a safe place for melanated homeschoolers, business owners, and overcomers to come together to connect, communicate, support, and introduce you to some amazing melanated families from all over the world that homeschool and more. I'm your co-host Ray of Choreography by Ray, and today we're going to talk about setting your young learner up for success from home. We'll also speak with educator, performance artist, and entrepreneur Sheila Anoser. We'll discuss the ins and outs of working with adding in-person and remote learning opportunities to your homeschool plans and offer listeners a special surprise at the end. So be sure to listen all the way through for details. Homeschooling Families Podcast is sponsored by CTRmedianetwork.com, which is a community of podcasters dedicated to bringing you quality content that make a positive impact in the world, from experts and their guests sharing their gifts with you. Watch their 24-hour web TV channels and listen to their podcasts from everyday people doing extraordinary things. Check them out today by going to CTRmedianetwork.com. A lot of families move to homeschooling because maybe something about in-person school just didn't work for them, or maybe they just want to make sure their kid gets a quality education. Within that framework, our kids are still looking for some routine and familiarity. I have students show up and I see that the parents have decorated their space, their learning space. That has set up for the child that it's going to be learning time. Now, granted, not everyone can afford to have a separate room or something like that, but I've seen people just put down like a little placemat at the dining table, and I'll see kids with their crowns ready and their paper ready, and it's clear that their family has set them up for success. So my tips for you today to help maximize learning for your young learner are to set the stage for learning at home, whether it's decorating the space or just helping them prepare, having their things packed or organized, set aside so that they know what's going to happen. Manage bathroom breaks and water needs and snack needs and all that stuff. Get all that set up before you start whatever that learning thing is, so that they're not doing a lot of multitasking. Doesn't matter if it's like in class with someone else or if it's just a class with you. Try to reduce your multitasking so that kid can really focus to manage your child's expectations. So have that conversation with your child beforehand so that they know what class is going to be about. I have so many kids come into hip hop and think they're going to be dancing to Let It Go from Frozen. I have one parent who asked me to explain all the hip hop moves in Pokemon terms, which would be great if it was Pride Plus, but it was a class. And not all kids watch Pokemon. So that wasn't really something that was going to benefit the group as a whole. But by having the conversation with her child beforehand about what class might entail and that not everything's going to be in Pokemon language, it would have helped shape that child's expectations for class. And then, of course, set yourself up for success. Make sure you have time in your day to do the things you need to do. So what do you need to do so that you don't feel stressed looking for Zoom links last minute or looking for your child's state curriculum guides? What are you doing to support yourself? Or what are you doing to create space in your calendar, in your day, so that you just feel like, I got this? Because you got this. Yes, you do. Our special guest today is Sheila Anoser. She is a dancer, singer, painter, co-founder of fashion line Vegan Free, and she is also super passionate about empowering children. She's going to share with us her secrets to creating enriching learning opportunities for kids, and hopefully give us knowledge bombs that we can use at home in our own classroom or to prepare our kids for going into outside learning spaces. Hi, Sheila. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hello. Thanks for having me.